And we are live.
Are we?
Yes, we're live. What up, Jonathan? What up, Biddy? Listen.
What up, folks?
So this top chat thing is annoying. It already
is, yo. It always happens.
It already had been annoying, but this is the most annoying I've ever seen it. Well, except for when Cindy was trying to get in. But
yeah, that was ass.
This tops that on the logistical front. We have precisely one mod. That is Biddy, right?
Right.
When it was set to top chat, I could not see Biddy's comment.
That's ridiculous, bro.
Biddy is here first, pretty much every week.
Yeah.
And for some reason, she was not categorized as top chat.
Shit is whack, yo.
What the hell is going on?
This shit is whack, bro.
Stupidity.
Very much
Sheer
so.
Stupidity. And inconsistency. Because what are you anyway?
Yeah. You can't win. Now, but these motherfucking social media sites.
I mean,
they got that shit on lock, my guy. I was hearing a bunch of people talking about this week about how their stuff was getting demonetized over the goofiest shit. The goofiest shit. And it's like, this is where we at, folks. Like, they own these platforms, and these platforms have gotten so big that in truth, there's not a workforce you can find that the number of people that can monitor all the shit that's happening on these sites. So they're going to use bots. They're going to use automation, and the automation isn't that bright yet. I mean, it'll get there eventually, but right now it's just not. So if it's ridiculous how you got to see grown ass people have to change the way they say certain words. Like they got to say grape and shit like that, even if they're doing commentary against it.
Right.
Where they're taking motherfuckers who do that to task. You know, that still isn't good enough because they still hit your ass up.
In contact.
Yeah. It has no it reminds me of something similar happened to us one time where we were literally we were talking in defense of the science of vaccinations and shit like this and all that. And these motherfuckers still, just because we mentioned it. And James challenged it. And they still kept that bullshit.
It stood.
As if we would be anti-vax.
Ever.
Us. Like, yo, like,
what up, Bowflex?
What up, Bowflex? Siobhan, good afternoon.
I mean, it's not afternoon yet, though.
Listen, it's afternoon.
I was just saying.
Somewhere in the world is afternoon.
I mean, sure. You're right about that.
Man, I'm gonna do this intro real quick while we still in the early stages. Me, and me too. Welcome everyone to the Black Culture Geeks podcast. This is my man SPJ, and I am Tombstone the Dead Man, and we are just a couple of geeks talking about pop culture from a black perspective. Facts indeed. This has been a revealing week, and it does seem like we keep having revealing weeks as of late. There are things to talk about. The one thing that I regret about us doing the Saturday show is when things happen early in the week. And everybody else
just thinking about that. When shit happened on a Saturday evening or a Sunday,
it's ass.
It's like, damn, bro.
Damn it. Damn it. Like it's whack.
The benefit of it is that I get to sift through.
That's very true.
Material, though. That's the one benefit I will say.
That's very true. You get to see how the public is taking certain things, and then we get to have commentary on that. Right. And that's kind of where our lane is.
Yeah,
it's not so much on just commenting on the event, but commenting on how people are interacting with the event.
Absolutely.
You know, and it was quite an event.
Yeah.
It's last week, and
some shit went down.
Shit went. Things happened. You know what I'm saying? And we plan on covering it, not full time, but halftime. Yeah,
Shut up.
we're gonna cover that. You know what I'm saying? Because there is still commentary I feel that is left to be said on a lot of that. But more importantly, I'm going to have to get in some asses about some of it, because motherfucker, a lot of people aren't as smart as they think they are. Because while they may have caught some symbolisms, they didn't catch the overall point. And it shows.
Yeah.
It shows. Also, y'all gonna have to stop this goofiness about that man Kendrick acting like he was some underground, independent, 100,000 fans maybe.
Right.
And stop it. We not talking about me.
No.
We talking about Kendrick fucking Lamar. And y'all you don't have to like him. You don't have to like his music, but you going to have to respect the numbers this man does. And also, there are several places you can go to watch him give a full performance that will completely shatter whatever your illusion was of why he did what he did on the Super Bowl halftime show. Like, go on Amazon Prime. They got one of his concerts on Amazon Prime. I forget where he was at. This insanity. He knows what the fuck he's doing. So if he does something a certain way, he did it on purpose.
Yeah, there's a reason. There's always a reason. Pretty much, shit. Anything he told us what his reason was. Well, yeah. But anything he does, there's a reason for it. That's not like no shot to anybody else. This is not about anybody else. It's about Kendrick Lamar Duckworth. He is very intentional.
Very intentional. And know what the side effect of being very intentional? A side effect of being very intentional and strategic and tactical in the way you frame your message is that it can accidentally hit other things that are relevant to it. And it can all be folded in to when people start talking about the symbolism of the shit. This is probably one of the reasons why there are a lot of songs that I have that seem like, damn, this nigga talked about the pandemic. Damn, this nigga before there's a pandemic. Damn, this nigga did that. Yeah, because when you are intentional about a message and you're strategic enough, it will eventually hit a lot of angles that people who don't know maybe originally what you had in your mind, but they'll find something else to go, yo, this connects with this. And it does, though, because it still it makes the point that the artist was trying to make. And I get there's a way that people have been conditioned to listen to music or feel about the purpose of music. But I must tell you that music is an art. I shouldn't have to say that. Music is an art, and music is multifaceted. There's a lot of different purposes for a song. That one song could stand for a lot of different things and have a lot of different purposes for why the motherfucker wrote it. So, look, it can be both business and what's the word I'm looking for? Meaningful to the artist. So yes, he wants this to sell a lot of copies. He can make a lot of money. But he also put a message in that shit. All right. And y'all gotta start trying to separate them two things, because that's also something that happened that I thought we would have thrown away after the 90s and early 2000s, when it was a conscious a wing of hip hop, and people saw you could make a message in your music and still make money. You could make a message in music and still, at least back then, like take Public Enemy. Them motherfuckers were getting $300,000 a show, a live performance, putting messages in their music, still on the business end, they handling their business, right? Both things can be true. But somehow it got fucked up with this narrative about you must only, if you want to make money with this, you must only party. Party music, y'all. Party. Say degenerate shit, y'all. Say degenerate shit. That's the only way you can make money in this shit. And really, they're giving really a really poor service to the listener base to think that people can't do both with those things. They can't both enjoy the music and get the message. You know
I want to still man your point real quick.
Mm-hmm.
So this verse. Disease, the virus is spreading in all directions. No safe zone, no cure, and no protection. No symptoms define the signs of an infection. No vaccines, remedies, and no connections. Quarantine the dreams and seal off the connections. Don't let them in, not a friend, not a reflection. Everybody's got it and wants you to have it next then. Don't accept them if you want to stay as an exception. No pill can heal the ill of this sickness. Some are still in doubt of its existence. Some call it forgiveness and some call it the vengeance. Some say it's an exit and some say it's an entrance. The poor say the rich have the cure. The rich say the poor are the source. Revolutionaries say a psychological war invented by the press just to have something to report. Some say the first case came from a maternity ward. Some say a morgue. Some say the skies. Some say the floors. Horse say the nuns. None say the whores. And everybody is sure. The scientist says it only affects the mind. The little boy says it only affects the girls. The preacher man said it's going to kill off the soul. A bum said it's going to kill the whole wide world. Now, that could be about COVID-19.
Yep.
Except
it came out
in 2007.
Right.
So yes,
I used that. I made a video using the one of the Resident Evil movies. I chopped up a lot of scenes and I put that song in that shit. Yo, that's one of Lupe's illest fucking song. The beat is crazy. All of it is crazy. So you can do this and still, yeah.
Big Mike. Yeah, like absolutely. That is a thing that happens often with artists who are intentional. Also, two parts of it. First, being so intentional leads to that, but also being consistently intentional opens the minds of the people who consistently listen to you.
Sure.
And has them predisposed to trying to connect dots.
That's very true. Once that's become, once you become known for that sort of shit, even at times where you're not necessarily doing that, people will still find. But what I do, as an artist myself, I can tell you, there is really no direct separation between what I rap about and what I think about the world. Right. I might exaggerate some things for effect, but if you strip it and reduce it down, that's what I think. This is the reason why I do have a problem with people trying to have their cake and eat it too with a lot of that shit, because I'm an artist. I've been an artist for over 40 years. I know that a lot of stuff that I'm rapping about come from in here. Like when back in the day when I was on some gang shit, I would really shoot you. Fuck you. Like even though I would exaggerate of me going into a funeral home and just I'm not doing that. But yeah, like that's what I'm saying. Like when I hear some of these artists try to back away from their shit, and I'm like, say it was just a song. Nah, B, look, I write. You pull it from here. Pull it from here. You know what I'm saying? So nah, you're far better standing 10 toes down on it, even if you tell them I exaggerate some parts, because that's true. Rappers exaggerate a lot of their shit. But if you mad about what I meant, what you think I meant here, ask me.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna tell you the fucking truth that there is this is the exaggerated part. This is what I really think. And as you can see, the exaggerated part just grew from what I really thought.
Right.
Like that's it. Shall we get into this whole?
Yeah. All right. Let's talk about it. There are a lot of people that have been mad over the past week, and I love it.
Me too.
I'm a fan. You always gonna have the group of racists and racist light people that were going to have the same tired criticisms, right?
Yes.
That was expected.
That was
expected.
Yeah.
I love them. It's to the point that that's how I know if something that happened is black enough. Like that's a good sign. It's a good sign. When they show up, you know there was some black shit.
Yeah.
You were always gonna have the group of older people and people who hate rap who are mad and hating because they don't know who he is and haven't heard any of his songs.
Mm-hmm.
That's not to be confused with people who just don't know and aren't upset about it.
Right.
But that's just how that goes, though, and everything is for everybody. Fun fact: I just last night, for somehow on my YouTube algorithm, a video popped up. What was it called? Piano intros for songs that have over 1 billion streams, right?
Mm-hmm.
Y'all know on here that I'm a music fan.
Really? I had no idea.
To different genres and shit. Out of 30 songs, there might have been 6 or 7 that not only did I not know the song, I might have never heard of the artist. You know why?
Why's that?
Because there are 8 billion people on this earth, and I am not all of them. I am not representative of all of them.
Right.
What up? I am not representative of all of them. I do not pretend that my perspective and the things that go on in my bubble are the only things that happen on earth.
Right.
So, yes, it's absolutely possible for a single individual, even living in the United States, to not know a single Kendrick Lamar. Absolutely is possible. 100%. That does not change how successful he is. It's not how that works.
It doesn't. And that reminds me of, to Steelman, your point, all you got to do is go on YouTube and find some of these creators have millions of followers and you've never heard of them. You've never watched a single video of theirs. You've never heard their channel name before. None of that shit.
Yeah.
What's up, Joe?
Always. What up? What up?
We having a Black History Year, Joe. Yeah.
You are always going to have the group of people who are just Drake stans or Lil Wayne stans who are going to hate no matter what, right? And that intensified with how Drake hate coded this performance scenes.
Yes.
Kendrick got up there and trolled the shit out of that man, and I would want to fight.
Yeah,
I would want to.
Those looks that he gave into the camera.
There's no way around it. Like we gotta have an issue now, my guy. Like whatever I felt before, this is different. We got an issue now.
Big man.
Because it's one thing to be that guy and have this large streaming blah 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 blah, right?
Yeah.
But this is in front of the world. Like people that don't even listen to music are watching this.
Right.
Like, so that's a little we might have to. All right, my bad. I digress. There's a group of people who didn't like the set list and wanted other songs from Kendrick. Now, some of that is legitimate.
Yeah, you like
sure, absolutely. Some of those people are Kendrick fans, or at least fans of hip hop. There's an argument to be made that the Super Bowl has generally, actually, there's no argument. The Super Bowl has generally been about nostalgia and legacy. Like, I could argue this one was still about legacy, but I'll see that, there wasn't much nostalgia there. Right. Sure. But let me still man the argument about the Super Bowl and what it's about. Here is an incomplete list of halftime performers when they headlined, when their last album at the time had dropped, and how much of that was what they performed, right? Dr. Dre headlined in 2022. His last music before that show had come out in 2015. Even still, he performed 0 songs from that piece of art.
Right.
Rihanna, she headlined in 2023. Her last album came out in 2016. Even still, she only performed 1 song from that album. Prince, he headlined in 2007. Now, his last album had came out in 2006.
Right.
Even still, he performed 0 songs from that album.
Mm-hmm.
Madonna headlined in 2012. Her last album had come out in 2008. Even still, she performed 0 songs from that album. So
right.
I'm gonna stop right there. But yes, this is the not even average. This is like 95 to 98% of the case.
Right.
Most artists that perform at the Super Bowl are either not currently releasing music or about to use the attention from the performance as a rollout to start releasing music again,
right,
or to go on some type of tour or whatever the case may be. So from my perspective, the only thing that I was actually somewhat surprised about is that he did Not Like Us. That was the only thing I had in question as far as what ended up happening, because I figured the show would be GNX heavy because he released the fucking album after it was announced that he was going to do the Super Bowl.
He did.
That doesn't happen.
Yeah.
That does not happen.
Yeah.
Then and when he released it, damn near every song went #1.
Right.
On the Billboard top 100.
Yep.
Damn near every song spent its time at #1.
Yep.
Then he also announced a tour before the Super Bowl happened. So already that's 2 things that Super Bowl performers just don't do. So once those things happen, I was like, oh, okay, this is going to be heavy GNX with the performance. Like, it's just going to be. Yeah, he'll probably do 1 or 2 hits from before, but it'll be heavily newer stuff. I don't know if he's going to do Not Like Us. That's what I felt going into it. Right. But I'm not going to argue with these people or even say they are wrong for wanting a nostalgia greatest hits type of thing. Even though he did a mini version of that at the Super Bowl already.
He did.
When he was up there with Dre.
He did.
He did all right, and he did Money Trees. Was it Money Trees? I think Money Trees. I will say that they are a bit foolish, or they weren't paying attention if they thought that they were going to get that. I will say that.
Yes.
What about Kendrick Lamar says, I'm going to stay inside of the box and follow empty traditions? What about K. Dot says, I'm going to rest on my laurels? If you thought that he was about to do that, given the moves that he had made within the last year and a half or so, you weren't paying attention. But okay. Right. Oh, let me sneak this right in here. Mace, perpetual winner of the Sleepy Nigga of the Year award, said that Kendrick Lamar should have done the whole Not Like Us song because the halftime show lacked energy. Now, nobody has to know more about music and energy than DJs.
Yes.
What is a major way that they detect energy? BPM. Whacked Out Murals, the intro to that played. So that BPM doesn't really matter. They didn't actually do the song. Right. Okay. Luther is low energy. Sure, absolutely. I'll give you that. All the Stars, 91 BPM. Okay. Man at the Garden, 92 BPM. All right. All below the 101 BPM that is Not Like Us. You got it. I can't argue with you at all. The rest of the songs, Squabble Up, 104, Humble, 150, DNA, 140, Euphoria, 140, Peekaboo, 100, TV Off, 100. Now, for the disingenuous among this group arguing that nobody knows the songs he performed, his set list was 11 songs long. How many of those 11 songs were top 10 hits in the U.S.? Not the hip hop charts.
Right.
The U.S. Hot 100.
Right.
Of those 11 songs, 8 were top 10 U.S. Hot 100 songs. 8 of them. The reason people were saying that is because the crowd was, quote, dead. Now, I would say that's debatable. I could argue what was happening there. I'm not even going to do that. This leads.
I saw too many clips. I saw too many clips.
Way too many clips.
I saw too many clips to deal with that.
What's good for you is great for me. This leads me back to the Lil Wayne thing, though. I saw several tweets from people talking about Wayne would have had the stadium lit and he'd have shut that shit down. And, all he had to do was come on there and start off with the Hot Boys songs and then blah, blah, this and blah, blah, that. Let's talk about that real quick.
I got one word for you before you go.
Go ahead.
WrestleMania.
Well, listen. So this particular event had tickets selling at their lowest since 2019, leading up to it, like within a day or two of the event. Mm-hmm. The lowest tickets to gain entry at that point in time were about $2,900, right?
Okay.
Wayne is currently on tour. What are his highest tickets for a show coming up next week? About $1,300. His highest tickets, about $1,300. Now, that's not to compare his prices to the Super Bowl, by the way, because no single person on a concert's tickets are going to compare to the Super Bowl. No, that's not how that works.
Yes.
The point is that given an even playing field, right, that whoever wanted to and could afford it could buy tickets to the Super Bowl game. I doubt people are going to buy a ticket to the Super Bowl just to see the halftime show.
No. That's not what's happening.
Especially when concerts are infinitely cheaper.
Right.
But that's not how the Super Bowl works. There are no tickets sold to the general public. That's not how that works.
Right.
Let me say that again. There are no tickets for the Super Bowl that are sold directly to the general public. 0 tickets. Not like no as in like an exaggerate. No, 0 tickets. 0% of the tickets are directly sold to the general public. How does it work? How is that possible? All right, so the teams total, the 32 teams that make up the NFL, get 75% of the tickets.
Right.
Again, not the teams that are playing, the teams in the league.
Right.
They get 75%. The participating teams get about 17% each, about 17.5 or something like that each. And then it's split up differently. The participating teams get 17. I think the hosting team gets like 3.5 or some shit like that. And then the rest is split with amongst the other teams. So for the tickets that go to the teams, those tickets go to players and front office members. So the players basically get 2 free tickets with the ability to buy up to 13 at face value.
Right.
Then the teams then hold a lottery amongst their season ticket holders with some of what's left of their tickets, and the winners of those lotteries can buy those tickets, and then the rest are held for the team's business partners. They all pay face value.
Right.
Then the 25% that does not go to the teams, that goes to the league office.
Right.
The league tickets go to the media members, corporate sponsors, community outreach programs. They also give like 600 free tickets to first responders, youth football coaches, teachers, shit like that. This is a lot of math, but basically this year there would have only been about 11,000 out of like 72,000 tickets that would have even been available for fans to buy at face value. The highest ticket that I saw was $8,000, but there were likely more expensive ones. So again, your average everyday person is not going to the Super Bowl, period. But on top of that, they are not going to buy tickets for the Super Bowl for the halftime show. It's just not how that works. Right. So all of the people that were complaining about Lil Wayne and all this other shit,
Man, please.
Oh, I was gonna go to the Super Bowl, but no, the fuck you weren't.
No, you wasn't.
No,
you wasn't.
You were not. That's not how this works. That's not how this works.
Get the fuck out of here.
So given that this is the makeup of the live crowd, I highly doubt that they would have went up for "We on Fire" or "I Need a Hot Girl." Like I personally, I could be wrong. I could be wrong, but bruh, like I don't.
It's just absurd, bro. Like,
but let's stay right here real quick and talk about the crowd being dead. Maybe given the makeup of the crowd, but if I recall, basically every time the music dropped out, you could hear the crowd saying the lyrics.
Yes, you could. Oh, no. Didn't you hear? Somehow the people at the NFL pumped in the audio of people cheering because they knew apparently which parts of the show it might be a little dry. So we that's
how that works. So also there are people who showed videos from their sections claiming the crowd wasn't into it. Okay. I've seen some where you could interpret it as the crowd being bored, sure. But you know what I saw in pretty much every one of those videos?
What's that?
People with their phones out.
Yeah, I saw that too. Recording the show.
People with their phones out with the flash on it, meaning that they're recording. Oh, okay. I don't know about you, but I don't tend to record a performance unless I like what's happening. Then on top of that, do you understand how many people 72,000 is?
Yeah.
No, you likely don't. Right? That's a lot of fucking people to be standing in a group of 72,000, even around a field.
Facts.
There is no way that you can get a good gauge on what everybody in the fucking crowd is doing. It's not possible.
Also, to still man that point, I've been to big concerts. I've been to wrestling events. If they do a sweep of the crowd, you're going to find some people just watching.
Absolutely.
And also, when you saw it, people forget which era we live in. People record every fucking thing. Yeah. So if you're standing there recording what's going on, do you have time to do this? Right. How is your video going to look then?
Also, people enjoy things differently. There have been several concerts that I've gone to where if it's not like my favorite of favorite songs, I'm enjoying myself.
I never, like, all right. I've been to, like I said, many concerts. I never cheer. I never do none of that. Like all that yelling and shit. I don't be doing that. I don't do it for wrestling events.
Still be enjoying myself.
I'm still enjoying it, but I don't do it. That's not how that's not how I consume what's happening. I'm taking in everything from the crowd reactions going on to what's happening in front of me as far as the performance, that whole ambiance. Like that, all that super wild. Oh my God, he's coming down. I don't do that. And I know I'm not the only one that don't do that.
Right? Lastly on that, for every video that claims people were booed, and bored. What up? For every video that claims people were bored, I've seen 2 or 3 videos of cruises, living rooms, bars, movie theaters, of people absolutely going insane. Not people bobbing their head. No sir. People going nuts.
Right.
I know how the reactions were in my living room.
Niggas going macadamia out that motherfucker.
Niggas. Facts.
Yeah.
But like I said, the only thing that I really didn't think we were gonna get was Not Like Us, and boy was I wrong. Now
I figured we was though, because or some version of it, because they was literally playing this shit.
Yeah, that's the point in time. Like before those advertisements started, that's when I was like, I don't think he's gonna do it. Once those advertisements started, I was like,
yeah.
Burr? Maybe. Oh, well, damn. And McKenna had a very great point. She said the crowd filled in the PDF line for Kendrick.
Sure did.
Enough to hear. There's no way, I promise you, with these lawsuits going on, there is zero chance that the NFL pumped in the word pedophile. There's zero chance. I promise you. Zero chance. Not happening. Now this is gonna fuel the dumbasses who say that Kendrick is milking Not Like Us, right? But let me remind you, the following are every single time that Kendrick Lamar Duckworth has initiated anything with that song publicly.
Right.
Get ready. It's a long list.
Okay.
He released the song. That's one. He performed the song at the pop-out. That's two. He released a video for the song. That's three. And he performed the song at the Super Bowl.
Wait a minute. Hold up, bro. Let me see if I understand what you're saying. Are you saying this man performed a hit single more than once?
Twice.
Yo,
well, to be fair, it was more than twice.
Because at the pop-out,
but that was one day.
Okay, so I just want to tell everybody, do any of you have any idea how many times MC Hammer performed Can't Touch This?
Yo, not even that. Because like people was talking about The Bridge Is Over and all that type stuff. Like that still gets performed today. But the point, not even that. Weird, because I think sometimes when people give analogies, they try to go for the most egregious one. I guess I don't know. Maybe that's their logic.
It's to make the.
But not in this case. In this case, I'm going to give you the most mundane analogy ever. Get ready. It's called a rollout. The average rollout performs a song more than Kendrick Lamar has done anything with this song publicly.
That's why, like I said, bro, you mean to tell me he performed a hit song more than once?
Bro.
Are you stupid or are you dumb?
It's ridiculous. I don't understand. Like, there are people who are saying this in good faith. Like, the stands and all shit, I'm not, I know what they're on. There are people saying this in good faith. Like, oh my God, he's just milking it at this point. What? How? What?
Yo, Mike said, how many times Hammer performed Can't Touch This? Crush your scooter. It's over 9,000.
So I've also seen a bunch of people saying that instead of serving a message, Kendrick made it all about Drake. That's all right. So first of all, before I okay, matter of fact, let's get into that. So I was at work one day, and one of my coworkers, I think it was Tuesday, and one of my coworkers asked me if I watched the game. I told her, yeah, just thinking that she was doing small talk. Now, the kind of small talk that I like / tolerate because I actually know and fuck with her. So it would have been cool. But no, this was not small talk. She then asked me specifically about the halftime show and asked me if I liked it. I'm not going to hold you. She had me scared for a second. So I told her, yeah, I loved it. Then she started gushing about how much she loved it and the symbolism and the message and blah, blah, blah. We having a good old back and forth about that shit. She mentioned the people who were saying that it was bad. And I said, that's because they're stupid, right? At this moment, another coworker jumped in our conversation. Damn, why they got to be stupid?
I knew it. I knew it was coming.
I ignored her. And looked at the first coworker while we silently just laughed at her ass. But then she started talking about some dumb shit that was loosely related to football, but really had nothing to do with the conversation that we were actually having. This is the dumbass that tried to swear me up and down that we don't have any more farms in Maryland. Yeah, that person. Now, obviously, I try to speak to her as little as I possibly can. And
that was so goofy about saying that as we drove past farms going
Bruh,
out.
It's just there's like 2,000 farms left in Maryland or some shit. Like anyway, so, but I'll answer the question on here, and y'all kind of already know it. Why do they have to be stupid? I call them stupid because they are stupid. It is that simple. I am not going to coddle anyone who is arrogant about being wrong. Out of an 11-song set list, Kendrick performed 2 songs from that battle.
Right.
That means you either chose not to listen
right.
and pay attention to what was going on, or you're stupid. I got a screenshot for this. I have a screen. Apparently, that's what it says in my notes. Let's see if my notes are right. Let me see screenshots.
Exactly, McKenna. Exactly.
I have so many screenshots.
McKenna says, in terms of the Wayne stuff, you also have to look at his kind of rocky history with Jay-Z rather than Kendrick. I think how much of that was all public versus how they actually felt about each other. And again, the divided flag imagery alone, like there was so many things in that performance that I will forgive people for not catching every bit of the symbolism. Plus, given the fact that you can't read Kendrick's mind to know what meant what, when, and how. But it was so much there that you can just pick anything up out of that motherfucker, from Samuel Jackson's dialogue to just anything out of that motherfucker, to realize that what he was up there doing was not a traditional halftime show. And there was a reason for that. You don't have to like it. You don't, because he don't give a fuck. That's number one. You don't have to like it because he don't give a fuck. I heard motherfuckers saying they'll never have rap up there again. So the fuck what? You know how many years they ain't had rap up there? Get the fuck out of my face, man. Like, motherfuckers have lost their minds, man. They really have. Because while SPJ looks for this screenshot, so there's like different kinds of people that were watching that shit. Because first you had the people who liked it and understood the deeper meaning. Then there was the people who liked it, even if they didn't quite grasp all the messaging. And then you had, people who hated it even after understanding it on a very surface level, right? Now, like me, I fall in a weird middle space. I like the performance. I caught a lot of the symbolism, the purpose, the intent behind it. But my relationship with the NFL, that's complicated because I don't watch football anymore, and I haven't for a long time. And it's not even because of the Kaepernick situation, honestly. Like, I was already drifting away from that shit before then. I had kind of outgrown it a bit. So, but I would still check on my team occasionally, you know what I'm saying, just to see if they had a shot of winning. My team will always be the Ravens. Fuck out of here, right? But I would check on them every now and then. But after the shit happened with Kaepernick, and after seeing what I felt like the league kind of stood for historically and shit, I was like, nah, I'm good. I just don't care about it anymore. And that's not just with football, by the way.
Right.
SPJ will tell you, that whole situation had me rethink everything about how this country uses national pastimes, how sports and entertainment get weaponized to maintain the status quo. So when I heard Kendrick was performing, I kind of wrestled with whether or not to watch, because after everything he did last year, the messages in his music, the stances he took, and of course, his absolute dismantling of the Canadian boy wonder. Like, I knew he wasn't coming to play nice, and he was coming to piss people off on purpose.
Thanks.
So ultimately, I decided I wasn't going to watch it live, but when I finally did see it, I got to tell you, I wasn't disappointed in none of that shit. He did exactly. He did exactly what I expected him to do, because he wasn't. I know y'all mad, but he wasn't there to just give you something to shake your improperly wiped butts to.
Yo.
That's not what he was saying. That's not what it was.
Wild.
And, nigga, listen, he literally did a song called Watch the Party Die.
Yeah.
His whole theming from April on has been on some anti-establishment, anti-industry, anti-expectation. His commentary against Drake was all of that was tied in it, saying this man basically colonized the art form. He basically was talking about the critiques of the system and how we utilize the shit and how motherfuckers weaponize the things that our community creates and shit and go on to become billionaires, but don't do anything to support the culture. And too many of these fans think that supporting the culture means you got a lot of spins, right, or a lot of people bought your shit. No, motherfucker. That's for the benefit of the artist and be quite frank, the record company.
Yeah.
That's not about the culture.
Right.
It's not about that. Like a lot of motherfuckers, I feel like they didn't get all of it because just because you can pick out this particular symbolism. I saw somebody post a comment saying some shit like, yeah, man, everybody gotta be stupid. We ain't dumb. We know what he was trying to do with the sunset. No, you really don't. Because you pulling off certain pieces of the performance and recognizing what that symbolism is doesn't mean you caught the overall point of why he did what he did.
Correct.
Because there was expectations that America has about how a halftime performance is supposed to go, the type of set list you're supposed to have, all of those things. And when that man did that interview with Ebro on that Apple shit, he told you what he was going to do. The story time. I'm doing a lot of storytelling up there. That's what he did. Now, to the people that have been saying, well, he has other songs in his quiver, like other arrows in his quiver he could have used to do that exact same thing. No, because that would have stepped on the point he was trying to make.
Yep.
If he'd have gave y'all all, because look, Kendrick got hits. I saw some other goofies on Twitter talking about the boy ain't got the hits. That motherfucking goofy OV Ho Mall. The boy ain't got the hits. What the fuck are you talking about? The boy don't got the hits. The nigga got hits. That's delusional cult speak over there. Yeah. The cult of the Canadian speak. That's what that is, right? Nah, B. No. That man has hits. And he performs all the time. Right before this fucking beef between him and Drake, this nigga was doing touring.
Yeah.
Performing. And they got videos.
When his tour concluded, it was the highest grossing solo hip hop tour of all time.
Bro, this is the other reason why y'all get on my nerves trying to act like this man was some relative unknown until he beat with fucking Drake. Are you fucking nuts? Are you nuts?
Yes.
Or are you glazing that man and his strip of Canadian bacon so fucking hard?
Also, yes.
That now you're trying to, what? Save him? You're trying to show him grace? You can't show him grace. No grace can you show him.
All right. So I found the screenshot. The reason it took me a while is because I forgot the way that I set this up because this thing is dumb. It's from Blue Sky. And I'm just reading what he said. He had a chance. Oh, I'm sorry. First, turned my TV off immediately.
Right.
Hi, you being funny. Okay. He had a chance to really say something, but he spent the whole time attacking Drake. Now I just expressed why that's taking stupid, right? So all right. Cool.
Yo, I'm laughing at Special's face. It's like, whoa, on the Canadian shit. And man, look, I fuck with the Canadians. I just don't like the boy.
Yeah, no,
I don't like the boy.
He give Canadians a bad name.
And honestly, they just booed.
And here's the funny thing: he gives Canadians a bad name legitimately because ain't nobody ever had nothing bad to say about the Canadians.
What bad could you say about them? What bad could you recently,
except for recently, Drake, Tory Lanez, and Daniel Caesar.
And Tory Lanez is a manager too, because he was part of that whole academic shit too. But no, they just recently booed an American team when they played their American anthem up there.
Several times.
And I'm like,
several different games this has been happening.
People, I saw people getting mad. I'm like, yo, why are you mad that the Canadians doing that when your country is literally threatening to annex them? Right. What the fuck did you think how they was going to respond to that?
Like, no, that's
you fucking goofy. If you ain't want to get seen that way, then you don't put that guy in office to say that type of shit.
Quick side note. I saw somebody say that basically. They was like, all right, they were at one of the games and the people tried to announce, like, we're gonna respect all anthems and blah blah this blah blah that.
Nah.
The anthem happened, people still booed. And he asked an American, he was like, how do you feel about the anthem being booed? And he was like, I don't like it, blah blah this, blah blah that. And then he responded back, he said, okay, but how do you feel about the guy that's in charge there threatening to annex this country? That's what you get when that type of thing happened. Yep. And the guy said, you are right. I did not think about it that way. That is exactly how I would feel in that situation.
And you're lucky that more wasn't done.
Yeah, facts.
You know what I'm saying? You're lucky to even make it the fuck up out of there, honestly.
Absolutely.
Because knowing how absolutely volatile, knowing how absolutely unhinged this country and the populace in this country have always been. And yes, there are times, when they quick to lull us to sleep with some bullshit, which is kind of what Kendrick was trying to rail against, right? But the reality is, you try some shit like that over here, there's a segment of Americans over here with all these guns over here that wouldn't let you walk up out of there.
Correct.
So stop acting like other countries ain't allowed to feel the way they feel when another country is. And I don't want to hear, oh, well, the American people ain't with that. Nigga, as far as if I was them, you put them in there.
You ain't no different.
You ain't no different. You put them in there.
Facts. No, that's funny. Yo, especially Space said we probably all apologize after the game. Yo. So somebody else commented, they was like, oh, Jesus fucking Christ, I don't stop with all this bullshit. People call this guy orange and tangerine and this and that.
But that got to do with Canadians.
And the guy responded, yes, they do. But those are nameless, everyday civilians.
Those are his own
world leaders.
Yes, that's a difference.
World leaders are supposed to have a different level of decorum.
Specifically because the shit you say out your mouth can have a negative effect on a bunch of people. So the lack of discipline, the lack of gravitas. To say some shit like, hey, we might as well make them a state and then call their fucking prime minister a governor. Bro, that's a threat. That's a threat all day.
100%.
That's a threat.
Question. I don't. Anyway, so this nigga said he had a chance to really say something, but he spent the whole time attacking Drake. At the time that I took this screenshot, this nigga got 29 comments and 87 reposts. Quote tweets. On his ass, right?
On his ass.
His next tweet. His next Sky. What did they call him? I forget.
On Blue Sky? I'm not sure.
Yeah.
The next Skeet. Cloud?
His next Skeet.
Skeet.
Yeah, shut up. Hey. Shut up. He said, obviously, I'm not going to reply to each. Shut up. He said, obviously, I'm not going to reply to each one of you, so let this apply to all. The shots at Drake are direct. No need for interpretation. No need to dissect symbolism. Have that same energy for the man who is an actual threat to the people you claim to fight for. Say it plain, because he sure is. For your information, I'm not remotely offended by y'all coming from my intelligence, because you don't know me and you're not my enemy. Thing is, I didn't grow up on these niggas, so I have no blind loyalty to them. I grew up on Pac, and he wouldn't waste his energy on Biggie in that moment with that audience. We're going to let him sit in stupid.
You know nothing about
We're gonna let him sit in stupid. We're not even going. So, moving on. And just a bunch of other dumb shit was happening. Somebody showed a video from the fans of the people going wild during Not Like Us. And one of the comments was like, yeah, but show them during the rest of the songs. The obvious implication there being that nobody knew any of the other songs that Kendrick performed, right? You know how stupid you have to be to believe that nobody knows a song that
nobody knew all the stars.
Show became the only hip hop song to reach double diamond eligibility by the RIAA in Humble as 20 million sales after this Super Bowl show, and clearly 10 million didn't come from the show, so it was already over diamond. So, like, what the fuck are we talking? It's not certified yet because that's a whole nother conversation that I want to have at some point, but not right now. I never realized that you have to actually apply for certification. Like once you become eligible, you still have to apply.
You still have to apply.
That fucks up so much content that I've put out in my life. Like so much content. But anyway. Last thing before we get to this.
Again, I'm gonna need y'all to stop acting like Kendrick was doing little bars.
Yeah, no.
Like, yo, you've lost your mind. You've obviously lost your mind thinking that he's a little artist.
Mm-hmm.
Just because he's diminutive in size doesn't mean he's diminutive in impact.
Nigga. Last thing before we get to the Twitter stuff. I just want to elaborate and hammer this home. Think about how hard it is to walk down the block in Times Square, right? Mm-hmm. There might be 1,000 people within your sightline, right? And I think that's generous. I'm pretty sure it's less than 1,000 people. Imagine feeling like you can tell what 70,000+ people are doing in a stadium that you're currently inside of at any given time. Yeah. Imagine how fucking dumb you gotta be to think that you could accurately
I don't have to imagine because we saw Casanat show how stupid he was.
And in the video that niggas was sharing, it was people dancing and singing.
Right.
Like, what are we talking about?
Right.
Anyway, on to this Twitter reaction to this whole thing. Because obviously, as always, it's been a lot. Oh, let me do a quick dumbass of the week real quick to get this shit out the way because it's right here.
I thought you already did it with the dude on Blue Sky.
You know what's funny about that? I in my notes, I had wrote that that dumbass of the week was going to be a part of this, but I changed my mind because I found this. Quote, I lost 70 family members in Gaza, end quote. No one fucking has that many family members to lose. What the fuck? Who believes this shit? So, a little while ago, I forget what we were talking about. Wait, hold up. It was a while ago. I can't remember what the fuck we were talking about, but I came on here and told and counted the amount of family members coming from my grandmother and grandfather. That's it.
Yeah.
Not including their siblings or anything like that, right?
Right.
So I'm gonna do a rough of that. So my grandparents, that's 2, have 7, maybe more, right? As far as my memory goes, because I don't have it in front of me. I'm doing this quick. I didn't write notes for this. My grandparents have 7 kids. One of their 7 kids has
a
child. One of their 7 kids has a child.
My grandparents had 8 kids.
One of their 7 kids has a child that has 6 kids and a child that has 5 kids.
Yikes.
One from that generation has 5 kids.
Yikes.
So that's already 13, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. That's already 23 people.
Yikes.
That's just one of my grandparents' children. That's already 23 people. Now, when you add in internment camps, it's much easier to get to 70. If I recall correctly, my number from just my grandparents' kids is like 59 or some shit like that.
Bro, that some of these people say the dumbest shit. If you go with my sister's kids, some of their kids, my cousin's kids, some of their kids, what the fuck?
Right.
What are motherfuckers even talking about?
Mind you, again, I didn't mention none of my family from New Jersey. I ain't mentioned none of my family from New York. I ain't mentioned none of my family from Georgia. So, yeah, no, it's very easy to get to some family members.
It's extremely easy. I wanna read this shit that Special Space said too, because this has a lot to do with it too. Talking about Kendrick, he's not a big media whore, so it seems like he's not as big as he is. He isn't slinging a ton of commercials and sponsorships, so people don't see him on the regular.
Yeah, very simple.
It's really simple.
Let me get to these goddamn reactions because motherfuckers.
This nigga said, who has 70 people in this?
You're lying. Nobody has 70 people in their family. What?
Do you know how
what is happening?
Do you know how packed Gaza is? For the size of it, geographic size of it.
Right.
Will you please shut the fuck up at some point? Also, having babies.
Will they?
X one thing about about poor, impoverished motherfuckers. They don't have a lot of activities.
Mm-hmm.
So they're gonna have sex.
They're gonna have some babies.
They're gonna have some babies.
That's a fact. That is simply a fact. There's really no way around it. All right. I didn't realize it was this much. I'm still going. Come on, we can get to the bottom. Get to the bottom of this.
McKenna says, when my great grandma passed a couple of years ago, we did the math. She had at least 60 between just her own kids, grandkids, and great grandkids. Yo, that's crazy for a motherfucker to think that.
Again, and we are talking about people in the quote free world.
Yes.
With infinite more amounts of things to do, infinite more space, and blah blah blah. All that stuff. And Gaza, we're talking. Okay, all right.
2 million people in that little ass space.
Yeah, I just don't. All right, so we're far back enough, and all right. Blah, 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 blah. I overestimated. Okay, here we go. First one is the video of the beginning. Not of the beginning. It's of right before Kendrick did Not Like Us, when Sam Jack was talking. And the caption says, he looked directly in the camera when he said, "Say Drake." The entire stadium screaming A minor, with Serena Crip walking on the field. Victory lap of the century. Facts.
Say Drake. Hold up. No, wait a minute. Say Drake.
Apple Music. The night of the Super Bowl, I think before the actual game was over. So like slightly after the halftime show ended. And I quote, I'm going to read this whole thing. Oh, hold up. I got to click show more.
Pity said the running joke here we say about having a big family is the parents didn't have a TV to watch.
Hey. Bear with me. This might take a little while. Apple Music, shortly after the halftime show ended. They not like us. 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 They not.
This is so ass, yo.
They not like us.
This is ass.
They not like us. 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 They not like us.
So absurd.
They not like us. 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 Hashtag Apple Music halftime. That's the tweet. That's the whole tweet. Let me see what's next. Somebody said, Gina Views. Gina Views said, when Crody was begging Dot to come outside, I know he ain't think outside was the Super Bowl stage. I mean, okay, what's next? Megan Thee Stallion.
This the nigga he wanted smoke with right here.
Oh yeah.
This the nigga.
Megan Thee Stallion says Kendrick Lamar's performance is the only reason that she showed up to the Super Bowl. Absolutely. JPEG Mafia says it's over. Never beef with Kendrick.
My son performed with him on stage.
Word.
And
so it's over. Never beef with Kendrick.
Never. That's the moral of the story.
Yeah. Somebody just with the caption of the quote, I want to play their favorite song, but you know they love to sue. Yikes. Apparently Australian locals pulled up to where Drake was at a party and trolled the fuck out of him by singing Squabble Up.
I heard that he didn't even did he fill that stadium he performed at during that time?
I don't know. I'm sure he did. I'm sure he did.
I'm reading things.
So somebody, I don't know who this nigga is, but he says, y'all once again don't know ball. Bro was rapping into the mic, switching up lyrics, editing out all the curses, rapping new bars. Drake, this aside, that was a flawless rap performance.
This is what they were saying. This is what Joe Budden was saying too, on the recent episode, because he didn't like the set. The set list got leaked.
Yeah,
and he said, "Ain't nowhere in the world he's doing this set list," and he did. Right. And it's so crazy because typically the person that doesn't really have the most insightful commentary on that show is Flip. And yet Flip absolutely killed the purpose of why Kendrick did shit the way he did it. Take that, America. Your expectations, I'm not here to do any of that shit. Flip caught it, and these other dudes who are usually smarter than him on a lot of other stuff didn't. And it also swayed Buttons. He was like, you know what? After he said that, now I'm riding with Flip and Kendrick on that one.
Thanks. Because that's just simply what it was.
That's what it was, bro.
Yeah,
that's what it was. He's putting his thumb in his nose up at your expectations and shit.
Yeah. Kendrick using in the Super Bowl stage to spotlight his latest album was a bold move. The halftime show leans on nostalgia, but he showed up with new material, never coasting on his legacy, and always looking forward. That kind of fearlessness is exactly why he's still on top. Mind you,
yeah, I was going to bring that up.
First words out of his mouth were from an unreleased song.
Right. Yo, I swear to you, I was going to bring that fact up as well. That this is a balancing act, folks. He had a point to make, but he also has business concerns.
Absolutely.
He knew he wasn't going to do the typical type of show that he would do anyplace else. So he went up there and said, what makes the most sense to fulfill all of my goals? I want to put this message out here, and I want to say fuck them for all the shit they pulled, but I also have business concerns with selling records and going forward beyond just this, hour performance or whatever, 13 minutes, performance or whatever. And it made so much sense to take music current and run them numbers up. At the same time, I'm not giving you what you expect me to do. You expect me to come out here with a bunch of the best of Kendrick.
Yeah.
We talk about the new shit. And he even said in an interview before all of this, he's not so much on the old stuff no more.
Yeah.
He's literally been telling y'all
in the future.
Right. He's literally been telling y'all what he was going to do this whole time. And the only reason you sitting there acting disappointed now is because you wasn't fucking listening to him.
Yep.
You was listening to everybody else.
Next one. Too loud, too reckless, too ghetto. Uncle Sam representing those who tell the black community how to behave, the dances forming a disconnected American flag, the imagery, the cultural significance and relevance, an absolute work of art. Kendrick Lamar, you are the man. Next. Too much rapping, LOL. You do not like hip hop. You like artists that happen to make hip hop music.
How about that?
I'm so sorry it took something of this magnitude for you to realize that.
How about
that? Killer Mike, even though I don't fucking like Killer Mike. And the funny thing is, he said, and that was that rap shit. Wow.
Yeah, I saw that.
Hip hop as fuck. Somebody quote tweeted him and said, I don't like you, but you're right. Somebody else having Samuel as Uncle Sam calling Kendrick's performance too ghetto, and then it cutting to his all-black backup dancers dressed in the colors of the American flag. Serena crip walking during Black History Month, too poetic. Kendrick proving why he won a Pulitzer. We've been sitting through years of watching Guns N' Roses and Aerosmith or whoever at the Super Bowl.
Excuse me. To be clear, I like both of those groups too.
Me too. Absolutely.
But the truth is the truth.
The truth is the truth.
Right.
Somebody got to tell the truth, and I'm going to tell it.
Yeah.
Somebody said, the smile was diabolical, bro. Looked right at the camera. He is going to get sued tomorrow, along with the NFL and the city of New Orleans and everyone watching. Godly performance.
The state is going to get sued. The state.
Ben Stiller.
Everybody that went home found a subpoena, right?
Ben Stiller. Best halftime show ever.
I'm taking some of these celebrities' comments with a grain of salt too.
Oh, I mean, yeah. Deleted, quote tweeted the Apple Music post and said, "Laughing my ass off. Apple Music bullying this nigga Drake now. I'm weak."
They ain't the only one bullying. I see quite a few companies bullying his ass,
nigga,
over the past few months.
Somebody says, "I think y'all need to watch this shit again. To change that many lyrics, change the original flows of songs, and walk around that long without sounding crazy winded. This is a masterful display of artistry, man. I love hip hop."
But we also know too that Kenny be working out, B.
They asked him in the damn interview. One of the kids was like, "How do you get ready for a performance like this?" And he was like, like physically, I might run 2 miles. I'm like, hold up.
No.
You mean right before the performance? Yes. Right before the performance.
Yes, bro. I'm telling you, what I used to do when I knew I had a performance coming up was, especially in the neighborhood that I used to live in Laurel, was very hilly. You remember, there's a bunch of hills and shit. I would literally power walk up those hills and around that area, sometimes going for as many as 3 miles, right? And do my set. Because if I can get through my set doing this, it ain't shit to do it on the stage, right? It ain't nothing.
Facts. Crooked Eye. Real rap shit ain't for everybody. Never has been.
It's not. As a matter of fact, America hates real rap shit. America loves that other shit. Yeah. So that's why he didn't give you that.
Jermaine Dupri, dope performance, no backtrack, breath control, choreography, skits, straight up rap shit.
That's the other thing. No backing track. That's him rapping, like you said, switching up bars. That shit shows such a commitment to the craft.
Yo, it shows how well you know your shit. To be able to just, number one, edit it, but number two, edit it in a way that makes sense. But number three, change a lyric that isn't even necessarily something that needs to be edited.
Right, facts. And he did that shit.
Bruh.
McKenna said, and Kendrick was covering that entire huge stage multiple times. Now, this is one critique that I've heard that I think is fair. They said that the way the vocals was mixed was kind of low.
Oh, so yes. The reason that happened, from what I understand, is because the feed that we heard during the show was mixed for
the live
crowd. Yeah. They deleted that video and re-uploaded it with a new mix.
Made sense to do.
I haven't listened to the new one yet, but it gives credence to that theory.
And this is what these niggas will say, and that's what they had in the chair.
Right. So here's the thing about that. If you were in the building, because ARP went, and I saw his. He said no. He said, I was in the building. And he explained the whole in the building versus on cam thing from Battle Rap. And he was like, no, I was in the building. I was there when things were happening. things were happening. The American flag colors, the all-black dancers, Samuel L. Jackson as Uncle Sam. Like, why aren't we talking about this? I get the A minor shit is cool, but Kendrick actually used this opportunity to say something that is so unbelievably huge.
That's what I said.
Somebody else thinking that performance was pandering to Republicans is a degree of media literacy I didn't know was possible.
Ooh,
I'm gonna get to that. I think I have that. Let me see. Somebody from South Africa says, did Kendrick not perform some of his biggest, most familiar songs? Money Trees, King Kunta, Swimming Pools, Mad City, Bitch Don't Kill My Vibe, All Right, etc. Strange. Robbed the people for the sake of pushing GNX. He made the show about a moment instead of celebrating his entire career / catalog. Shaking my head. Somebody help me understand. Somebody quote tweeted that and said,
somebody helped him understand?
You see South African hip-hop listeners? Then we act surprised when DJs play old music and only old music. Move on, guys. If y'all want to see Money Trees and King Kunta, check on YouTube for his old performances. He puts out new music for a reason. Rappers put out new music for a reason. Move on.
Damn. Shit on.
Plies. Winner of the resurgence of his fucking reputation.
That's a fact.
Cause nigga, Plies be right 8 times, if not 9 times out of 10 nowadays.
And we did not expect it. We did not see that coming from him.
Never. Plies, if you one of them people who try to tell kids,
that's a fact, McKenna. She said, plus some of those songs he sang during Dre's year.
Yeah,
he wants to keep it fresh too. Yeah.
If you one of them people who try to tell Kendrick what he should have done different, all you got to do is get your own halftime show performance. And you can do it exactly how you want to do it. It's really that simple.
Show him how it's done.
Talk that shit, Plies.
Show him how it's done. Go ahead. Get up there.
Tiger,
it must not be a lot to get because, you know, Kendrick was a barely heard of artist.
Absolutely. Nobody knew who this kid was before the Drake beef.
Right.
Tiger reacts to the entire stadium singing Not Like Us by Kendrick Lamar word for word at the Super Bowl. This is funny because Tiger famously had a relationship with Kylie Jenner when she was 16 or some shit like that. So it's very interesting that he does not. I mean, he's bobbing his head, but he doesn't seem too enthused about this song that calls out a famous rapper for.
Let me give you 3 guesses why.
Kendrick Lamar's Super Bowl halftime show surpasses 10 million views on YouTube in less than 10 hours. More of that in the future. I have never in my life asked that a rapper take his foot off another rapper's neck during a battle.
Never.
And I've only seen this public outrage happen twice where people think a rapper went too far. 2018, when Pusha T bodied Drake, and recently when Kendrick bodied Drake.
There seems to be a common denominator here.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all coddling the boy. Y'all want him to get all the accolades of being #1 artist all these years. What is this? Oh. Y'all want him to be seen as the new age Grandmaster Flash for some reason. Y'all think this is authentic shit. But y'all want to hold his hand when it comes time to do some truly authentic hip-hop shit, which is battling. Nigga, you lost badly. You were unprepared.
Yeah.
You were swinging in one direction. He wasn't even there no more.
Correct.
He was fucking you up, and he had watched all the game tapes.
Yeah.
He knew your moves. He predicted everything you was going to do, and your goofy ass went out and did it anyway.
Yeah.
And now you lost on top of all of those things. I can't even give you credit for being part of something that's authentically hip-hop because after this shit, you went and sued everybody.
Yep.
So when I hear motherfuckers sitting here talking this dumbass shit about he did that for the other, no, he didn't.
Absolutely not.
And it's evident now what this was about. Evident.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all keep making excuses like that goofy ass Maul talking some shit about we don't know what was in the contract. Nigga, that's not what he's suing about.
No, he's not.
What is you talking about? Stop it! I'm tired
it's
of y'all.
Very clear and in the documents what he's suing about.
It's in the documents.
Not breach of contract.
They don't have hidden documents.
Right.
This is what it is. This is public record. Yep. You sitting around here talking like y'all. I'm tired of y'all doing that for y'all faves, man. Seriously, that's one of the reasons this show exists. I'm tired of y'all doing that for your faves. Y'all refuse to be honest. Refuse.
Yeah. So
cut it out, man. Look, you can celebrate that man's achievements if you want over the years.
Absolutely.
That's fine. That's fine. But what you're not going to do is try to tell us that Sugar is shit.
Right.
He fucking lost. And nobody ain't say he ain't rap. He rapped. He had some of those comebacks. He had bars in there. Yeah, okay, that's cool. Unfortunately, a battle is about more than just that. What a battle is now has evolved from what it used to be. When I first started rapping, it was all about who got most rhymes.
Yeah, if you run out of
more rhymes, once you run out of rhymes, you lost, regardless of how good your shit was. You lost. You ain't got nothing to come back with? Nothing. That shit has evolved over the years. It's more to it than you just having bars. Do your bars actually hit? Mm-hmm. Do they hit your opponent in ways that compromise them, in ways that change the way we see them?
Right.
And you ain't doing enough of that. The only people you convinced was your dick riders. That's it. They was convinced that he beat his girl. They was convinced that his kid wasn't his. They was convinced. The rest of us, especially somebody like me, who, to be quite frank, I wasn't a big fan of either one of them, but I leaned towards Kendrick because culturally, what he talks about and how he does shit mirrors closer to what I'm about than what Drake did. But I wasn't a big fan of either one of them. So some of us regular fans who weren't, we was like, no, I'm not convinced that he beats his girl. I'm not convinced that that's not his kid. I'm not convinced. However, I see video of you on stage with a 17-year-old after being told she was 17 years old. You still talking about her boobs.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I saw.
How thick she was and how good her boobs feel. And
yeah, I saw you do that cringy ass shit. So when he says you trying to strike a chord and it's probably a minor, I go back to the video. He did. And that's, damn, score one, Kendrick.
Right. This nigga said, I hate that Kendrick made his career revolve around Drake now. He's not even performing his classic songs. So my quote tweeted him and said, first the narrative that was that he's a small-time artist and nobody listens to him. Then it was that he has no popular music and it's only thanks to Drake's name that he's popular. Mm-hmm. Now it's why didn't he perform his most popular music? What will be the next narrative? Tune in next time on Dragon Ball Z.
I'm going to tell you what the next narrative is going to be. He did all that shit. He wasn't even born here. What? He ain't really from Compton. What?
Well, shit, the lawsuits say he's from Oakland.
Y'all niggas
are crazy. Clearly not from Oakland.
Y'all niggas are crazy, yo. Y'all niggas are crazy.
Whoever, I don't know if this is somebody famous or something, Benny Johnson.
Mm-hmm. Benny Johnson?
Hi. Yeah. I don't know.
If it's Twitter and he got a check, that don't mean shit no more.
No, I know. Right. He says, hi, this is not music. This is some loser mumbling. There's nothing artistic or redeeming about this. NFL, stop behaving like Americans like this. Jay Black responds and says,
soft.
This is the mumbling. Flip a coin. Want the shameless me or the famous me? How annoying does it anger me knowing that lanes can speak on the origins of the game I breathe? It's insane to me.
You know,
self-fulfilling.
You know, I'm gonna tell you something, bro. About that very thing, I'm glad you put that in the mix. For years, one of the criticisms I've heard from people who don't like hip hop at all is that they say they can't understand what they're saying, or that the lyrics don't have value or none of that shit. Then you go and you look at the lyrics of some of the shit these motherfuckers are writing. That shit is crazy. And what you do when you do that is erode any credibility you could possibly have. And also, you build a permission structure for me to never give a fuck about anything else you talk about.
Absolutely.
Because it's too obvious.
Yeah. You want the famous me or the shameless me? Nigga, what? It angers me that all these lanes I see can talk about the game I breathe.
Nigga, do you know that's the reason why when I started doing lyric videos, started back doing it again, the reason why I started putting the lyrics in there?
Mm-hmm.
Because
Absolutely.
I know there's people that can't catch cadence.
Yeah.
But you're going to catch these bars one way or another, even if you got to read them bitches.
Facts. Somebody said nigga uses 13 minutes to perform it in front of millions to stand on business for his own people and niggas downplaying it. Y'all mad dumb.
I think that's the other thing that really bothers me about it, because many times, you hear some of the same motherfuckers that say they not their ancestors and they would stand on business and they would do this and they would do that. This man gets up here on one of the biggest stages possible, stands on business.
You said one of the biggest stages possible. The most viewed broadcast since the moon landing.
Crazy. That's insanity that a rapper did that. That's insanity. Your faves could never. But here's the thing. Y'all say all of this stuff about how you're not your ancestors, blah, blah, blah. And this man gets up and he does this shit here. Because he could have just as easily used all his hits, got up there, and guess how long y'all have been talking about that performance? All of 3 days.
Yeah.
It would have just been enough to say, yeah, he killed that.
Facts.
Now he got motherfuckers talking about that shit past that shit. We about to go into the next weekend, and motherfuckers still talking about that shit, still commenting about that shit. Yeah. More importantly, though, the messages that he put out there in the zeitgeist, who he was speaking for, a lot of the times, it's not just him thumbing his nose at the system, although that is very much what he was doing. And if you listen to any of his lyrics that whole year, you see how he's feeling about the record industry, how he's feeling about all this shit, right? But not just doing that, he did that for a group that doesn't get spoke for a lot, at least not by a member of the group. It's always other people speaking for. He got up there and he did that shit and put all the stuff in there for y'all to dissect and find meaning in and get inspired by. And the thing about music is you never know who it inspires to do what. It might not inspire the next rapper. It might inspire the next politician. It might inspire the next activist. So every little bit fucking counts. And when I hear motherfuckers talk shit, when I talk about how could I do that? Let me tell you something. You know who I was influenced by? KRS-One. I was influenced by Public Enemy. And anybody that'll sit here and tell you that Chuck D had intricate lyrics, they no. Sometimes it's the imagery, it's the sound, it's the power, it's the conviction, and what's being displayed in that song that inspires people.
Yo, they are talking about, in the past however many years, removing critical race theory, getting rid of affirmative action, getting rid of DEI, getting rid of the Department of Education, changing rules with what would be the replacement for the Department of Education as to what can be taught in schools.
And what can't be.
And Kendrick got on that stage and said, 40 acres in the mule, this is deeper than the music.
Yeah. And you motherfuckers got mad.
I found out about 40 acres in the mule?
How?
In school. When I was back then, it's probably not being taught that way anymore.
Nope. And
when Kendrick gets on there in this climate and says something like that, it will make an inquisitive person say, what is he talking about?
Right.
Let me go find out.
And once that person goes down that rabbit hole, there's no telling what becomes of that person when they get out.
Absolutely.
How much it transforms them. Yeah. So I hear you, goofies, talking about you want to shake your booty. Yeah. He ain't make us shake our booty.
Except he did.
Like it. Except for the fact that he did. And every one of those songs he did there had momentum.
Like 8 of the songs out of the 11 were over 100 BPM. What are you
At some point, what some of the responses show me is how unserious and how not ready certain constituencies are to do what the fuck is necessary to overturn the apple cart. Because if you can't see what this was and the value in doing it, and prioritize that over, well, I didn't get a chance to, nigga, you got Spotify on your fucking phone. You can listen to all those songs anytime you fucking want.
Mm-hmm.
What are you talking about? But guess what you don't get to do all the time? You don't get to see a master at his craft get up there and perform and also have the strength of his convictions to do it the way he wanted to do it. And it's like Joe Budden said on the show after, listening to him, he was like, when somebody said, I just wish he could have used some of his other songs, he could have did that with his other songs. He said, who are you to tell that artist how he was going to do what he was going to do? Who?
It's not how artistry works, my guy.
All you can say is you didn't like it.
Yeah, sure.
That's
valid.
And that's valid. Nobody can take that from you.
Especially if you're not hating. If you just didn't like it.
You didn't like it. You're welcome to that, but you're not welcome to tell that artist that he should have. You don't know what's in that man's head. I mean, you kind of should have known at least part of it because he talked about that shit all last year. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Kendrick Lamar's Humble is now sold over 20 million. I already said this, but it bears repeating. Kendrick Lamar's Humble is now sold over 20 million units and is eligible for 2 times diamond. It will be the first ever double diamond rap song once certified.
You know what's crazy about that? That's a pretty crazy achievement.
Especially when a nigga don't sell
nobody
music.
never heard of him.
They don't know who this nigga is.
Nobody knows who this nigga is. That's crazy.
So somebody says, imagine taunting someone, demanding they come outside because the beef isn't dying down this time, and that he must follow through. Big bully energy just to get knocked on your ass, turn into a victim, and file a lawsuit. And now y'all want to infantilize and protect him? Somebody quoted that and said, I hate to say this, but it's because he's light-skinned / biracial. A dark-skinned man could never garner this amount of sympathy.
Listen,
there's an argument.
It is an argument. I'm gonna say this. So y'all trying to protect this man when you can't. You trying to protect him from Kendrick. You need to protect him from himself.
Yeah.
He needs somebody to protect him from himself, not Kendrick. He's crashing out. He's crashing the fuck out. Here's the thing. He just dropped the project. And I heard a couple of people say they like 5 songs on there. I heard a couple of people say that. And I have no doubt that there's something on there that you listen to and you go, hey, that's not bad. Because he knows how to make music.
Absolutely.
But much of when you get to the level of notoriety that he's at, it's one of these situations where sometimes it's not about the quality of the music as much as what people think about you, the public perception of you. Because you're that high up.
Yeah.
Right? So like with a smaller artist that didn't have a large audience, you don't know much about him, you're listening to the music going, oh shit, this man should be more well-known than what he is. Mm-hmm. He's nice, but once he gets well-known, it's really less about the music and more from a marketing standpoint, how people feel about you. And if somebody has impugned your character good enough, that still might not be enough to get a lot of people against you until you do things.
Right.
You do things that kind of feed into what that other person's criticism of you was, and then we start to see. When he said they not like us, he was specifically talking to Drake. When you sued over a rap beef, you basically proved what he said right. You're not like us because we would never.
Right.
Nigga, you just lost.
Yeah.
You just lost. I've lost battles.
Yeah.
It is what it is. You just lost. Get better.
Yep.
Or the old saying we say back, don't get mad, get fresh.
Thanks.
Get fresh.
I mean,
he was fresher than you. Sorry, stale bread. Sorry. Yep. I like fresh bread.
So somebody said, niggas hating on this performance? And somebody quote tweeted them and said, niggas hated on Rihanna performing in the air pregnant. They hate every Super Bowl performance. So I, funny enough, just posted this. It was in my memories. A pregnant woman performed 12 hits in 13 minutes while suspended 150 feet in the air, and y'all thought it wasn't good enough.
It wasn't good
That's
enough.
Exactly what happened. That's what happened last year. So, like, yeah.
It wasn't good enough, big.
There's always going to be, and I didn't mention this group in my notes, there's always going to be the group of people who just like to complain about shit. There's nothing for you to complain about. Rihanna was fucking pregnant.
Fact. And she was
running around. She was
going crazy. She was going crazy.
On the fucking platform 150 feet.
Yeah, bro.
Pregnant?
Yeah. And y'all still had some.
And you like, oh, this was boring. What the fuck are you talking about?
First of all, y'all, we don't care what y'all say, because the reality is, had Drake got the Super Bowl, we all know what he would have did. He would have got up there and did all those nostalgic hits and sung about and sneak dissed people without saying their names and shit, like he's done in the past, unlike what Kendrick did when he was like, say Drake. McKenna says, I think the racial thing with Drake is also because of different informed levels of parents. I went to 2 different high schools for 2 years each, one predominantly black, the other basically all white. I had more black friends in the first high school whose parents did not like Drake, specifically because of all the weird kid things he was doing publicly at the time. So they had generally a more negative opinion of Drake, versus my whiter high school literally had a Drake song as our class song my senior year. And if you didn't like Drake, they thought you were weird.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's an aspect of it. Absolutely.
Yeah. What's up, Chrissy? She said, I saw a compilation of complaints about so many Super Bowl performances. Like, y'all really complain about everything. Can you get up there? Absolutely not. You know, I'm glad she said that, right? Motherfuckers who've never done it have no idea what it's like to stand in a certain position and see all these people looking at you like, what you about to do? I'm gonna tell you. The biggest crowd I performed in front of was like 30,000 people. And I'm telling you now, when I got up there on that stage, I couldn't look at them.
Right.
So I looked above them. Because if I looked directly down at that teeming mass of people, I would have choked. Yeah. I would have flat out choked.
Yeah.
That's a lot. He performed in front of 70,000.
Not just he performed in front of 70,000. He doesn't have the luxury of looking above them.
Facts. He's
in a bowl.
Oh my goodness, bro! He's a fish. He's a fish in a bowl. What the fuck? Excuse me. He's a piranha in a bowl.
Yeah. Next person says, hip hop in its purest form will always make America uncomfortable. Always. The genre has been watered down in mainstream culture for so long that folks have forgotten it was never designed to be accepted by the masses. Enjoyable? Sure. But accepted as equal to pop, country, and rock? Never.
No, that's why the level of popularity that you see happening with hip-hop after 50 years is uncanny and unsettling for a lot of people. Because the reality is this. They were saying it was a fad. They were saying it would never last. They were saying it didn't have value. They were saying it wasn't music. And now what do you see? When I was watching wrestling as a kid growing up, they used all rock music. It was all rock music. And I love rock music, so I was good with that. But you didn't see any rap music at all, and none of the promos and none of the vignettes, none of that shit. It was all rock. Now go watch WWE. Everything is hip-hop flavored now. There's a reason for that. Because when you look at the analytics and see who streams bigger than everybody else, it's hip-hop music. And that's unsettling to people who was banking on this shit, tanking, so they could say, look, we told you that shit wasn't worth nothing. Yeah. And it's like I said in the song previously, they will tell you this shit ain't worth nothing. It ain't nothing. And then all of a sudden, when that's when you do it. Then when they find a way to monetize it and come out of flat, and all of a sudden it's the greatest thing since sliced bread, and they're making billions of dollars off of that shit. Oh, and by the way, it ain't really yours anymore. Right. I mean, listen, this is for everybody. But when y'all wanted to critique it and make it shit and make it ghetto jungle music and all that other shit y'all was saying back in the day, it was all ours. It was all ours. All ours. The moment that shit got popular, all of a sudden, no, this is for the whole world to enjoy. We see this hypocrisy all the time with almost every fucking thing. And then you wonder why that breeds a Kendrick. That hypocrisy breeds a Kendrick. It makes a Kendrick.
Yeah. Sam Jack shared a picture of him and Kendrick with the caption, "Super huge honor to be asked to be a part of Kendrick Lamar's halftime revolution."
Do you know how crazy it is to hear the GOAT
Sam Jackson for him to say some shit
it's
like
an honor?
Understand, this man was an usher at MLK's funeral.
Yes. Listen.
He was adjacent to the Black Panthers.
Listen.
He was this man Sam Jack. Hey,
this is Nick fucking Fury.
Facts.
This is who, when we did our GOAT metrics for actors long ago, years ago on the early shows, he was the GOAT.
Absolutely.
He was the GOAT. We've been calling him the GOAT for years now.
Absolutely. 100%. He continues to earn that moniker.
Bro, if I was Kendrick, as soon as Sam walked in the room, I would have gave him a motherfucker. Right? And did this.
Facts.
And did this. That's fucking Sam Jackson. And I'm gonna tell you something about Sam Jackson. One reason I fuck with him is what you see is what you get with Sam.
Yeah.
If you follow his Twitter, especially over the last few years, what you see is what you get.
That is so impressive because he's old.
Yes. Yes.
That is so impressive because he's in his 70s. Wait, is he 80 yet?
We about to find out because I ain't gonna put no bone on the GOAT that ain't there. How old is Sam?
In fact, we 76.
That nigga is 4 years shy of 80.
And we share the same birthday also. So
yo, listen, protect Sam Jack, yo.
At all costs.
Protect Sam Jack at all costs. Because when we lose him, there's a certain amount of realness that leaves entertainment.
That's fair.
You know what I'm saying?
DNA says, forget about the Drake beef and Not Like Us. What Kendrick did last night was big.
Yeah.
I hope the simple-minded people can see that.
No. Sorry, DNA.
Nah, they can't.
Sorry, DNA. For those of y'all who don't know who DNA is a phenomenal battle rapper who's he's a young man, but he's been rapping since he was like battle rapping since he's 15. It was against grown-ass men. You know what I'm saying? And he's a grown-ass man now, but he's also he's a relatively intelligent dude too, which it belies what you would think of most in that genre right there.
Yeah.
You know, he's a lot smarter than a lot of those guys. And I remember they tried to get on him because him and I forget who else Clips did the whole vaccine commercial and shit. Yeah. And I went, so all you niggas have been vaccinated.
Right.
Y'all couldn't go to
because you had to have been vaccinated in order for y'all to be battling to be in the
room. Yeah. So
what are y'all complaining about?
What are you talking about? What the fuck are you talking about? Y'all just be finding shit to complain about.
Yes.
And I was mad that
every single one of y'all niggas that are saying something about this have been vaccinated.
All of them was vaccinated. And this thing that pissed me off, I was mad at DNA and Clips because they were trying to be apologetic about the shit. And I was like, yo, don't be apologetic. These niggas are dumb.
On that shit.
These niggas are just dumb.
Oh, I forgot about this. To still man that point about them complaining about this being more the same. Rihanna making the FCC work. After Super Bowl viewers filed 103 complaints. Super Bowl 2024 fans divided over Usher's boring halftime show. Super Bowl halftime show review. The weekend wasn't great. Can I get a refund? Beyonce's halftime show leaves fans furious. This is par for the course. Like like I said at the top, this is one of those things that I love because it helps me know that the shit was black enough. There was there was enough black going on.
Yeah, it was definitely that. And you know, to me, like when I see some of the complaints, it's always a lot of times it's somebody trying to hedge the fact that they understood what it was, but still, and you always can tell they really didn't. No, you understood some of the symbolism because some of it was just right there in your face. Like the surface symbolism, you caught that. He was like, oh, he's trying to do some blah, 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 blah. But you failed to realize that his entire purpose was to not be what was expected. It was to not be, and at the same time, like I said, it's a delicate balance because he also has business concerns. So what's the better way to do that? To piss y'all off, right? Not do what they expect me to do and still promote the music that I got out right now.
Yeah.
Right now. Thanks. Right now. Like
it was a masterclass.
Yeah.
Somebody said the whole beef started with a song claiming, well, not started, but this version of this era of the whole beef started with a song claiming that Drake and Cole were, quote, big as the Super Bowl. And the victory lap for Kendrick was at that very same event. Greatest to ever do it. My mind cannot be changed.
Yo, the synergy, nigga, if you will.
Big as the what? That story, yeah, nigga. Yeah, nigga. Exactly.
Who's big as the Super Bowl now?
That would have been fun. Like, listen, I ain't gonna hold you. The petty in me wishes that he would have started that bitch off saying the words, big as the what?
Yeah. Oh my god, bro. Bro, if he done that. Listen, you think that's petty. The petty in me want him to drop one more diss after the Super Bowl. So he can include the fact that he hit the Super Bowl.
Facts. Next person says, thematically, the show was about Kendrick refusing to conform to white American standards. So, yeah, what are y'all talking about?
They didn't like, okay, let me tell you what. Let me tell you something about some of the people in our community. They don't like when you do that. Go back far enough in the slave quarters.
Oh, nigga.
And my man Jeffrey just gave the overseer a dirty look. The overseer didn't see it, so he got that off. The other slaves saw it. When he went into the slave quarters, they jumped on his ass. You better stop doing that, Jeffrey. You gonna make Massa mad. They could have strung you up on a tree, then they would have came after us. Stop it, Kendrick. What are you doing? You gonna make them mad. So a lot of niggas ain't like that shit because they don't like when you upset the dominant demographic.
Yeah, don't disturb the status quo.
Nah, don't do that shit. Yo, you gonna get them? They gonna get rid of affirmative. Oh,
yeah, right.
They gonna get rid of they gonna take Black history out of school. Oh, they did that before the Super Bowl.
It's already done.
You fucking goofy. There's no reason not to crash. There's no reason there. They already did that shit.
Pretty much. So somebody says the pop-out concert was so much better. Somebody quote tweeted that and said, yes, I agree. A 2-hour performance that's not censored 10 times out of 10 will usually be a 12-minute censored performance. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, people just be saying dumb shit.
People say anything, bro.
What? Y'all don't have friends in real life. I'm convinced that you don't have anybody that you can bounce your ideas off of.
So they can check your ass.
Listen, because what the fuck is happening? Yes, absolutely. A 2-hour performance where he can say whatever the fuck he wants is absolutely going to be better than a 13-minute performance when he has to edit his curse words. Like, yo, yes.
People are so fucking goofy, yo. People are so goofy, yo. They are really fucking goofy.
Why is this a thing?
Also, after watching the pop-out, let's say you never saw any other of Kendrick's performances ever. After you saw the pop-off, you know he is capable of doing a certain type of performance to elicit a certain type of feeling from people. He also knows how to tap into energy that he authored or he helped to foster and make a show based around that. You know he knows how to do that. So if he didn't choose to do that this time, it was purposeful.
Right. Clearly.
Purposeful.
Somebody said
he could have made you shake your unwashed butts. He could have done that.
I can't stand you. Somebody said when white people get outraged about Black performers, it means the performance was chef's kiss. Seen a lot of battlers. Oh, let's talk battle rap. Seen a lot of battlers on the timeline that weren't happy during the halftime performance yesterday. I wonder what that was about.
Conan.
Yeah.
A lot of them rappers have been cooning this entire fucking time with the
Facts.
Drake and Kendrick shit.
Facts. Kendrick was the first solo rapper to headline the Super Bowl. And I truly love and appreciate the fact that he decided to rap. Like he could have easily watered it down and made it more digestible for the masses by doing his legacy pop songs. But man's really represented for hip hop by rapping.
Yeah, niggas ain't like that though. Niggas ain't like that. Niggas ain't like that.
Somebody said I enjoyed Kendrick's halftime show. I appreciate the messages he was sending out loud and subliminally. I didn't think it was boring at all, but everybody's entitled to their own opinion.
That part. Because again, nobody's jumping in your asses for not liking it.
No,
they're jumping in your asses for not understanding what he was prioritizing.
Yeah, the closest thing that people are coming to arguing with people for not liking it is just your misunderstanding of what not liking it means.
Yes.
When you say the word boring, that implies that it has no merit to it, entertainment wise.
Right.
That is not true. Case.
It's not true.
You didn't enjoy it, which is fine. However, it was enjoyable.
Right. Right.
Here to J3 said they begged for Gang to come outside and play. They thought he was kicking his feet up and playing possum. Whole time he was mapping out a master plan. When you're great, no other individual can determine that but you.
Just because that nigga grew up looking like a possum doesn't mean that he was going to play possum for none of you motherfuckers. Look, there's a picture. This is one of the times I wish we still had the same features of the old shit. Because there's a picture of him when he was a little dirty Compton kid. And I said,
looked evil.
He looks evil. He looks like a fucking goblin. And here's the thing, right? If you put Drake's kid pics next to his kid pics, you start to get a bigger picture and go, absolutely. You went at this.
The funny thing about that, yo, is I heard this interview sometime this week. Glasses Malone. So, for those who don't know Glasses Malone is a hip hop artist. And how can I say this delicately? He was in them streets, right? So he's verified.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people who attest to some things and some shit.
Some things.
Without saying
some things
and some shit.
Some things.
Yeah. So Glasses is actually one of Kendrick's like big homies. So he was doing an interview.
I know what interview you talking about too.
He was doing an interview and they were asking him about Kendrick, and he was like, I'm thinking that album title got y'all fucked up about Kendrick. Like, y'all hear Good Kid and think that he was the good kid in the Mad City. No, this nigga is a menace. Like he is, because he was like, somebody asked, I think the original question was about, is Drake safe to come back to the West Coast? And Glasses was like, don't nobody want to beat on Drake. He already got that. Right. And they was like, what you mean he already got that? So he already got whooped on.
Right.
He was like, the only person that want whoop on Drake still is Kendrick.
Yeah.
And they was like, what? He was like, yeah, y'all get this shit twisted. Maybe it's because of that album title. Y'all think he was the good kid in the Mad City. No, this nigga is a menace. Like, he is mean. He said
all of them are mean. He said everybody at TDE is mean. Like, y'all don't know these niggas. These niggas is mean. Yo, it's funny because at the end that I said that they sound like the way this nigga gonna sound one day when they ask him about me. Y'all don't, this nigga, he's ass.
It's like, yeah, that nigga was cordial, but what the fuck that shit wasn't sweet.
And I'm gonna tell you something now. After seeing that picture, I know what they're talking about. Because I knew dirty little niggas like this. I knew dirty little niggas. Yo, I had a homeboy. I ain't gonna say his real name, but his street name was We was calling Paco and shit. Mm-hmm. When I saw the picture, I said, that's Paco. That's Paco. Dirty, always into some shit. Like, that's Paco.
Yeah. Like y'all want to conveniently forget that there's certain shit you gotta clean up when you go into the mainstream.
Yeah. I think what it is, dude, he got educated at some point on a certain philosophy, right? So, like a lot of times what happens with black males growing up in the inner city area, there's a couple of things that can catch you, that can shake you from the ghetto games, shake you.
Yeah.
Some of it is religion.
Yeah.
Point blank, period.
Yeah.
For me, it was Islam.
Mm-hmm.
Islam shook me out of that what? Fuck this, fuck these niggas. It shook me out. I'm like, yo, that's not how you supposed to behave. You know what I'm saying? So whatever it was for
Ironically, for Kendrick, I believe it was the LA street life.
Yeah.
Like ironically,
yeah,
it ended up being that very thing that was like, hey, listen,
this is not something that I need to
Yeah.
be involving myself in
Yeah.
any longer. Right. And that's the thing. Something happens to you, either friends go to jail. Like I had a homeboy, real close, got jammed up with one of the worst fucking crimes you can get jammed up with. And he had to spend time in the cut for that shit. And that's something that did also, because I had other friends that went, but this was my man's every day, my man's. You know what I'm saying? So there are certain things that shake you. I think something shook him. He got educated about some things. He started having an opinion about the world, had a worldview that went beyond just Compton, beyond just California and that culture there. And he puts it in his music. Like I told you earlier, that's what we do. That's what rappers do. That's why Chuck D said years ago, rappers typically rap about what they know. So if you don't know much, you ain't going to rap about much, right? So I think people confusing that with the fact that peel all those layers off, he's still that dirty little goblin kid with the fucked up tennis shoes on and the crazed look in his eyes. He's still that kid. It's just at the core of him, and it's got all these layers over top of it because he's matured. And motherfuckers keep thinking that when you mature, that little motherfucker ain't in there. He is in there. And when Drake poked at it, that's the goblin that came out. But this time, he fighting in a different way. You still want to fight on this nigga, though, the other way, too, because that's still who the fuck he is, right? That's still who he is. But I think people see that he did the Black Panther soundtrack. You know, you watch some of the videos from the songs from off there. He's looking real cultured, real stuff. And motherfuckers getting the impression that he not going to hit you in the head with a bottle.
Right.
Because Paco will hit you in the head with a bottle in a minute. So much, he was such a menace that one day he came around my crib and his jaw was out here like this. I'm about to get the gun. Who did with that? Nah, yo, I got an ab session. but I'm thinking somebody found with a and rocked his ass.
Facts.
Like,
yo, you don't say I got an abscess, bro.
Yo, he opened that door like, I'm about to, yo, chill, I got an abs.
Like, you doing a lot right now. My shit hurt.
you making too much noise, yo. The vibration. Yo, his shit was like this,
bro.
I thought somebody batted him down or something. What the
fuck? Next person just simply says, y'all hate everything that requires y'all to think.
Ooh. True
I
hurts.
can say that. I can get on here every week and say that.
Yeah, we do.
Let me see. Storytelling. Kendrick just performed on 4 stages that look like square, X, triangle, O. In that order. The lights in the crowd show a loading bar going to 100. And the halftime show, the game begins. Stage. GNX teaser snippet. Squabble up. Uncle Sam complains he's being too reckless and ghetto. What Kendrick imagines America would think about what he just performed. Then Kendrick goes into Humble and DNA, his biggest hits on the set list, in the middle of the full stage, seemingly to appease Uncle Sam. Camera then pans to the crowd. Warning, wrong way. X stage, Peekaboo. I can't believe he performed this at the Super Bowl. Tease is not like us. I want to play their favorite song, but you know they love to sue. Triangle stage, Luther with SZA. O stage, All the Stars with SZA. Pan to Uncle Sam saying he liked those SZA songs. Nice and calm. Don't mess this up. Kendrick interrupts. It's a cultural divide. I'm going to get it on the floor. 40 Eagles and a Mule. This is bigger than the music. They tried to rig the game, but you can't flake influence. Then goes into Not Like Us with Serena crip walking on her ex's diss track. Then turns his TV off with TV off. The crowd says game over.
And some of you niggas agreed with Uncle Sam.
Yeah. That's the most hilarious part about this.
Yeah.
Like y'all are literally saying the things that he said.
Yeah.
In that damn okay.
Yeah. That has been swirling in my brain all week. That y'all basically sided with the character that Samuel Jackson was playing. That's basically what y'all did.
Yeah.
Congrats.
Yeah.
Congrats.
more still manning of Sam Jack. Even though I said this already, I'm forever going to continue to still man Sam Jack. So Samuel L. Jackson was an usher at MLK's funeral and a literal Black Panther. He was not a literal Black Panther. He was adjacent to the Black Panther. Yeah. And that seems important to point out to people who fully missed the point. Absolutely.
Actually, that is what you would expect from Sam Jack. It's like I told motherfuckers before. I followed him for quite a few years on Twitter, and I'm telling you now, when they be coming, he gonna say what the fuck he want. Mm-hmm. When they come for him and talk this, we gonna start going to your movies. First thing that nigga said, I already cashed them checks. Fuck out of here. Fuck out of here. I'm sitting the fuck out. That energy right there, that comes from being an old general in this shit and know your worth and know that. Look, y'all can try that goofy shit all you want. I already cashed all them big Marvel checks. Here, my guy. All those franchise movies that turn into these big ass things that become culturally relevant that I was in.
The Glass,
Pulp Fiction.
Pulp Fiction. Like, come on now. It's Sam Jack.
Yeah.
I'm tired of these motherfucking snakes on these motherfucking planes.
Yo, that's Sam Jack, son.
Boondocks. Like, what are we talking about? Yo,
listen. That man
I think somebody said this. I don't know if it's true. Obviously, it's always, I ain't gonna say always, but for the foreseeable future, it's always going to be somebody that's connected to the MCU. But it used to be Zoe Saldana, but somebody said that Sam Jack is now the actor with the most money attached to their name.
I can believe that.
I can believe it. Again, I don't know. It might still. I don't know. It was Zoe Saldana.
We did the fucking goat metric shit about that sort of thing too. Yeah, like she was connected to a lot of franchises.
Mm-hmm. It's always going to be somebody. Again, maybe not always, but for the foreseeable future, it's going to be somebody that's connected to the MCU. Yeah, because that's just how that works. So it might actually be Sam Jack right now. So yeah. Somebody said. Niggas calling K-Dot performance boring when everything he represented was and is for Black people. Yikes.
Oh, it does show Black people are boring.
Yeah, absolutely. Can't stand him. Huge bore. Y'all said Usher performance was mid last year. Said Rihanna's was mid before that. I ain't listening to y'all about shit. Kendrick had a great performance and a lot of symbolism. Y'all just won't ever be satisfied.
Yo, that point he made right there is the other reason why you can't really listen to these like the talking, the chat niggas, like y'all are trying to find a way to have engagement a lot of the times. Motherfuckers say certain shit for that, but the other reason is you just jaded. A lot of y'all are just fucking jaded, and I do empathize.
Yeah, some of them want it.
I empathize because there's a lot of phony shit out this motherfucker. Mm-hmm. A lot of motherfuckers who claim to be this, we find out later is that. So I get the being jaded part. But my thing is, can you wait for the motherfucker to actually fuck up before you get your knives and
especially when it's something that affects you so little.
Yeah. Yeah. At the end of the
day,
somebody
in your personal life, sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Be on guard.
Have at it.
Be on guard. If it's somebody like, a potential incoming president-elect, absolutely.
Have at it.
But if it's a fucking, let's take a break from the reaction to talk about this real quick. Mm-hmm. As much as I love the performance, I also have to call in people on the extreme other side.
Yes, bro. Yes.
Talking about, this was the greatest thing that could possibly happen for us as a people.
No, it's not.
It's a fucking musical performance at the halftime show.
Bro. Stop it.
Like the thing about this is defiance and information. Those are the two most important things.
You just nailed it.
Come from this.
You just nailed it.
And information.
Yeah.
It's going to make some people mad. It's going to inform some people, or at least push some people to become informed about things. Those are the goals. That is why when you get up here and say, Samuel L. Jackson was playing Uncle Sam and also a version of his Django character. No, the fuck he wasn't. He's not playing a version
of his Django character. He wasn't playing Steven, yo.
Uncle Sam was not a person. You're looking at it as if, because it's a black man standing there, you're thinking that it's an actual person saying these things. No. Uncle Sam represents two things. One, a character that Kendrick has already used on To Pimp a Butterfly.
Yes.
But that character was still based on the other meaning, which is the United States government and the system.
Right.
That is what Uncle Sam represented.
Yes.
It had nothing to do with fucking Django Unchained.
People.
But because we want to be fake deep, we gotta try to find all these extra connections. Like somebody was like, "Oh, see, y'all don't get what he really was talking about with the ladies when he was talking about them liking the suit, and when he was talking about are you really going to do it?" He was like, "No, that wasn't about not like us. That was about all right, because in the all right, you heard the girls saying this and that, and I'm like,
no."
Why would you hide that? Why would that need to be hidden? That doesn't make any sense. That song,
fake deep.
Yeah, and it's like, what are we?
The motherfuckers being fake deep.
No, you don't need to reach that far. It's relatively like it ain't surface level, but it's like right here.
These fucking elongated take ass niggas, like y'all niggas reaching and shit. Fuck out of here. Fuck out of here.
And here's the thing. It's like we said earlier. When you have a history of doing these things, you're going to have people that are going to do that.
That's true.
And for that, I'm not mad at y'all. Right? But can we add some sense to it?
No.
Because there's a certain thing as even if that's what he was trying to do, it still wouldn't make sense.
It wouldn't make no sense.
That matters, right? That matters. But anyway, back to the reactions. An anti-minstrel show Super Bowl halftime show. If you didn't get it, maybe you're not like us. That was
maybe, just maybe, you're in the cast of a minstrel show yourself.
Yeah. That was from Ebro. Somebody else said, Uncle Sam told Kendrick he's too loud and ghetto, asked if he really knew how to play the game, and told him to tighten up. So Kendrick played humble and then went into DNA, into Euphoria. That sequence alone is a story to be told. Yeah. Fuck you, Uncle Sam. We ain't going.
Right.
Thanks. Stephen A. Smith would divorce Serena Williams for Super Bowl 2025 halftime show appearance. Somebody quote tweeted this and said, a 57-year-old unmarried man with a receding hairline who has never been married, mind you, saying he would divorce our greatest living athlete who has been happily married for 8 years to her very rich and loving husband. Keep quiet, forehead.
Yo, this nigga forehead. Listen, let me say this to you real quick, Steven. The idea that you say you would divorce her over that,
impossible.
Let me help you out. She would never marry you, so correct. That would never be part of.
You're not worried about it.
So the other thing is, your insecure ass. Of course you would have. It makes sense. Absolutely. Because you don't seem to get that this is about so much more than just dunking on an X.
So when you are Serena Williams, when you are dominating in what is a male-dominated sport,
right?
Even though they have a women's division, but your accomplishments make the men's accomplishments look small.
Yeah.
And you are a girl, a black girl from Compton.
Right.
And you get to Wimbledon and you get on the biggest stage of your career. And you win. Expression. And you go out there and do what you were taught and how you were taught to express yourself while you were growing up, and you go and crip walk in front of the world stage and you get demolished for it.
Yeah.
And then you can come back on an even bigger stage and express yourself in that same exact way. And it ain't shit that nobody can do about it.
Or say about it.
What?
And
you talk about the Drake of it all? Yes, that's a factor, but that's a small factor.
That's a side quest.
Yes.
That's a side quest. The reality is this, and this is the thing people don't understand. I get where the people that try to shame her for doing that, I know where it comes from. The Crips are a gang.
Yeah.
They've killed a bunch of people, blah, blah, blah. If you know about the origins of the Crips, you know that it didn't start out to be what they eventually turned into. Yeah. That being said, there are so many different cultural expressions that we use daily that come from oppression, that come from the dismantling of a culture of people, that come from the disrespect of a group of people. And we say it in modern parlance because a lot of us don't know the origins of it. It's something that's just said, but it's now inundated as part of a culture. That dance is the same thing. In that neighborhood, in that region where she grew up, you ain't have to be a Crip to Crip walk. You ain't have to be gang affiliated, even though if you live in that neighborhood, you're gang affiliated. Yep. Because the perception of the people around you is this is a Crip block. You may don't bang, but you from this block. So, and that's the whole thing. If you don't understand anything about that particular part of it, you'll have these takes that I've been saying. If you don't care about this particular part of it, you'll have some of these takes that I see. It's within your right to not care. It's also in her right to not care about your hand wringing either. All of it, but that's a gang dance. That's not what that is for her. That's what they did growing up. And if you knew anything about Serena's story, her father kept her far and away from all of that shit. But that also goes to show you that when you grow up in a neighborhood, you get affected by it either way. It's part of the culture. No matter how hard people try to say, no, it's part of the culture there. It's what it is. And that's what she did. She expressed a part of a culture she grew up in. Ain't hurt nobody. She ain't pull out a burner on nobody. She ain't do a drive-by on nobody. She just did the dance. And y'all motherfuckers act like she just broke 15 international laws and shit. So when she gets to go on that big stage and do what they try to smack her down. Stay in your place. Stay in your place. You out of line. She get up there and she do what the fuck she wanted to do on an even bigger stage than Wimbledon, because we not gonna act like Wimbledon ever did numbers like the Super Bowl does. No. That means a lot more than her dunking on her ex-boyfriend. Yeah. That means a lot more. And also, what we not going to do is act like this pussy ass nigga ain't been hitting her with shots in his music all these years.
Nigga, that part.
And attacked her husband. So why would you think he'd be mad that she got up there and the slightest chance that this would irritate him even further?
Right.
He attacked a civilian.
Use your brain.
Think. Listen, he attacked a civilian. And y'all let him ride with that and then tried to get on Eminem for doing that. I'm just saying. That man don't rap. You attack somebody who's not going to be able to hit you back in the same arena.
Correct.
That man don't look like he even go outside.
Just like him dissing LeBron James.
But the difference is all it takes is a dunk to shut your stupid ass up. LeBron, all I had to do a magnificent dunk and shut your goofy ass up, because every fucking camera is going to be on it. It's going to be showing every single second. Oh, did you see that shit either? Yeah, we saw it. Who said what?
Right.
Somebody said some rapper got smashed in the battle said what?
All right. I like black people that aren't scared to make white people uncomfortable, and no, I won't be elaborating.
Because the question you need to ask is, why are they uncomfortable?
Right. Kendrick getting backlash like this is exactly what I expected.
Exactly what he expected too.
Niggas don't like political protests and messages. Just turn up, blicky, blicky, boom.
Shake your butt.
Yeah. Right? I think the lack of art history and art theory classes in schools has led to people to neglect the importance of nuance and interpretation.
That too. I think that is a direct result of them taking certain art classes out of school. The fact that people don't even understand what art is anymore, or what its purpose is anymore.
Yeah. Ted Nugent.
Fuck him. My fault.
Tweeted, "Hey Kendrick Lamar, you suck." You know what I did? Because you know what I thought would be funny.
What's that?
I quote tweeted this and said, "Say Ted,
I hear you like him, yo, yo, you killed him. You killed him. He can't come back."
Somebody else quote tweeted and said, "Guy with a literal quote, relationships with teenage girls, end quote, section on Wikipedia didn't like Kendrick Lamar. What a surprise."
Because that song those parts of the song could be about you, Ted.
Yeah. Somebody said there needs to be a study how Drake got white streamers in his corner who are racist and talk about rap culture or artists in certain ways. Somebody quoted that and said, "A mixed race guy who grew up in a Jewish Canadian suburb without his black daddy, claiming to have never felt accepted, is now cosplaying the worst stereotypes of black men and is known to champion and hang with alt-right white supremacists."
Yes.
It's very on brand.
It's on brand, bro. And this is the other reason why, like I said, I be looking at people a certain type of way now because a lot of this stuff is not hidden. A lot of the stuff that we've seen, he's been very public with his allegiances and who he chooses to extend his name recognition for to help. Like he went on Aiden Ross's fucking show. He's done a lot of these things, and it's like, so what do you see in him other than his slaps that makes you want to go this fucking hard? I think I know why. I think a lot. Yo,
hey,
one of the things that I came to the realization of a long time ago, but it really like fostered itself down now with a lot of people in my community. One of the issues is y'all too American, and what I mean by that is you benefit from it the least.
Yeah,
but you go hard as fuck for it. That looks crazy and it looks cringe. They disrespected the fuck out of you, and you be going hard as a motherfucker for this shit.
Hard in the paint. He managed to piss off Drake, Matt Gaetz, Ted Nugent, and Matt Walsh by dissing pedophiles in front of millions. Kendrick Lamar really is a generational talent.
The GOAT. You hear about that Matt Schlapp shit? He just got jammed up again.
God damn it.
Yo, I think it was an intern last time that accused him of sexually trying to assault him, touching inappropriate, and now it's another guy.
Yeah.
He grabbed the man all by his crotch, kept rubbing on him as he walked by him all the time.
Man.
Look, the man's wife was there with him.
God damn it.
Yo, Matt Schlapp ain't shit.
Clearly. Niggas hate Kendrick so much they asking why is breath control and rapping without a backtrack important during the live performance. Somebody said no special guest, nothing exciting, just two bitches that Drake fucked performing with you. Somebody quoted that and said, reducing the Serena Williams down to a bitch that Drake fucked is lowbrow and moronic.
That's crazy.
That's facts.
Yo, also doing that to SZA is crazy too.
Absolutely.
That's crazy as fuck.
Somebody named Vanilla Panther. Yeah.
Okay.
Said NFL better start caring if they want that white money because broke ass Tyrone and Pookie won't be buying those Super Bowl tickets, catering to the militant wing of the 13 percenters while pissing off everybody else is not a winning formula. So Michael Harriet eloquently. Eloquently reminds this person barely 14% of NFL revenue comes from ticket sales. So this doesn't make sense. Unless, of course, you're saying that white people are so racist that saying black people get things could make them stop buying tickets. I already explained earlier how the Super Bowl tickets thing works.
What I will say is, Michael, we're living that. We're living that right now.
Y'all looking too deep into the halftime performances. Some things are made to be looked into deeply. That's the purpose of art. Just because your faves don't give you any of that doesn't mean others don't.
Just because you are an unfortunate child that grew up during a time where they got rid of art classes in school, be it music or what have you, and you weren't taught that first, the introduction of all of these courses tells you about what art is, how important it is, what it's meant to be, how important it is to humanity and all this shit. You niggas ain't get that spiel. You didn't get that spiel at all. You didn't get any of those lessons in that courses. So you grew up as a fucking heathen. You're a fucking heathen, and you don't understand what art was. No, there is a lot of things that I wish I did not have to grow up with, being from Generation X. But one of those things ain't the fact that we had a bunch of art classes. I was in the band. You know what I'm saying? Like, we had just art classes in school. They took that shit the fuck out. They took it the fuck out. A lot of places around the country. This, by the way, is literally how hip hop and why hip hop started. They took music out of those schools at the time. Said they ain't had the money for it. They couldn't afford it. They couldn't do it. These kids didn't grow up playing any instruments. They still found a way to make music. And you know who shitted on them? All of the people who were privileged enough to come from areas that had great property tax value and had music classes and had all of that shit. Shitted on these kids who was like, I used the turntable. I used some break beats to make music. We don't have music instruments in our fucking school. What the fuck is that? I did what I did. And then these same motherfuckers went on 50 years later to become the most dominant streaming music on the planet. And all you could do is shit on them. But you the same motherfuckers that go to the movie and root for the underdog in the movie. But not in real life. Crazy. Crazy. Crazy.
The mixed response to Kendrick Lamar's Super Bowl performance is a necessary reminder that somebody's inability to understand you doesn't make you any less brilliant.
Facts. Because if you look at the numbers, right? If you look at the numbers for all your criticisms, for all the things you had to say, he still hit his checklists. Most viewed. And if I'm not mistaken, I think I read a little earlier that right after his performance, they dropped the number.
Yes, 11 million people left.
So what do you think they was there to see?
Yeah.
They was
Area man who spent the last 25 years listening to the same 5 classic rap records argues that the NFL is out of touch with culture after an artist with 22 Grammys performed at the Super Bowl halftime show.
McKenna says, if black success makes you uncomfortable, or white success makes you happy, you absolutely do have a racial issue, period. Right.
Jay Moore, battle rapper, that man performed 11 songs in 13 minutes with coordinated dancers at a packed football arena with 126 million people watching live with no background vocals. As a rapper, that is unheard of.
Yeah, thanks.
The reason the reason Kendrick's performance was likely underwhelming and mid to you is likely the same reason NASCAR is boring to me. I am not the intended audience, and that's okay. But you'd never see me go out of my way to make sure NASCAR fans knew my.
Yo, you know what's crazy about you saying that is that's me. Like, I don't fuck with none of that. It's boring to me. I have never gone on a thread where people are celebrating NASCAR and said, this shit, they're just riding around in circles. This ain't no
not a single time.
Because guess what? I'll let people enjoy things.
Absolutely.
If you come and ask me my
this
opinion,
ain't hurting me in any way, shape, or form.
No. As a matter of fact, I'm keeping honest with you. Because I know how ignorant you fucking apes are when you don't get your entertainment. I want you to be entertained.
Facts. That's right.
I want you to have that fucking release. Get that shit up out of your system because I know how you act when you don't have it.
So I don't got to deal with it.
I don't want to have to deal with it.
Yeah.
But to be clear, when it's time to watch the party die and do some real shit because standard of livings are at stake. Quality of life is at stake.
I saw a quote that said there is not a single state It might have said city. But I'm gonna go with state. There's not a single state where a person working minimum age can afford a 2-bedroom apartment.
That's probably
off 40 hours.
That's probably
40
true.
hours.
That's probably true.
So again, when it's shit like this happening, I mean,
it might be time to prioritize some other shit. Like seriously, like I know I get it, but you need to understand something too, that the government utilizes these events. They always have. They always have. I did a whole blog on it that I never really released, but I did a whole blog where I was saying from its early days, the NFL has intertwined patriotism with its events. National anthem performances, military flyovers, and tributes to armed forces are standard fare. These elements aim to honor service members and evoke national pride. Yet, the line between genuine tribute and performative nationalism can blur. After September 11th attacks, it intensified patriotic displays in American sports. The NFL in particular amplified its ceremonies, incorporating more frequent military honors and flag presentations. While these acts foster unity, critics argue they also serve as recruitment tools and promote a one-dimensional view of patriotism. And reports have even revealed that the Department of Defense paid sports teams for patriotic displays. That practice is called paid patriotism.
Yep.
So, again, this is why what he did on that particular stage has to be applauded. Because when you're using these pastimes to pacify people while they do all this fuck shit, but still want to make you, they do shit to show you they don't give a fuck about you, but they still want you to feel good about this place.
Absolutely.
They about to shit on you. They about to make sure you can't really afford too much and nothing. And they're going to tell you during an election that they're going to bring down the cost of eggs and inflation. Then they're going to get the job and say, oh, it's something I really can't able to do. Blah, blah, blah. They're going to do all that shit. But here's Super Bowl. Here's a Marvel movie. These things matter and should be talked about. And guess who should be talking about it? Artists. That's what artists have always done. They've always done that shit. From the fucking court jester, who was literally the only one in the court that could joke about the king and not get his head cut the fuck off, to the singers and rappers and actors of today. And I find you uncultured swine ridiculous for not even understanding that that's what's supposed to happen. Our artists do that. They push the envelope. They say the things. They raise awareness. But shit got too commodified. There's nothing wrong with making money for your art, but shit has gotten too commodified to the point where y'all think that's the point. It's not the only point of this shit. And he did what he was supposed to do as an artist on a stage that has gotten super commercial, super utilized as a weapon against the mentality of the people of the country. He went up there and said, nah, nigga, nah, y'all gonna think today. Y'all gonna think today, but why do it there? Why the fuck not? Where else is he gonna do it? If he goes right now to Australia, I'm using that place purposely. If he goes to Australia and performs for a show that only the people that's at that show see it and he does it, does that make any sense? If he does it on the biggest stage possible, that has impact. And that's why you niggas are still talking about it a week later.
Correct.
And you're going to be talking about it longer than that too, because
absolutely. Curtis King again. Don't react. Just observe. They are all exposing themselves voluntarily one by one.
Facts.
It's fascinating to watch.
Facts.
Plies again. You niggas ain't got no principles no more. So when you see another nigga standing on principles, you can't relate.
That's it.
God damn it, Plies.
Yo, I thought Plies, and this is what happens when they commodify art. And artists feel like they got to be a certain way with their branding to be seen, make money, because they got executives telling them this shit got to sell, man. I thought Plies was an imbecile. I had no idea he had thoughts.
Right.
Like,
Because he never expressed them.
Never expressed them. And if you listen to the music
don't express them.
Doesn't express any of that.
No, not at all. Kendrick Lamar breaks the record for rapper with the most Spotify monthly listeners ever.
Nobody. That's funny for a guy nobody ever heard of and shit.
It's interesting how both of those can be true.
Yeah,
male Drake fans are weird. It feels like they want to date him. No more commentary necessary on that. Jason Martin, aka Problem. Great art creates conversation. That's the whole point of this shit. To make people think, to make people feel. If the art doesn't evoke emotion, it is pointless. Facts.
I agree with that because emotion doesn't necessarily have to be rage. It could be joy. It could be sadness. It could be all of that. So no, I agree. Yeah, it's got to make you feel
the Kid Gowie, who is he's big in the Ravens community, says, quote, worst halftime show ever. Kendrick Lamar's streams increased by 175% on Spotify. Humble became 2 times diamond eligible. Gained 1 million followers on IG. The performance has 34 million views and counting on YouTube. You don't have to like it, but his impact was felt.
That's the whole point. That's the part I'll be saying to people. Like, you do realize that even your critiques help his cause,
right?
Because you continue the engagement about it. You continue the conversation about it, and you force motherfuckers to once again talk about the symbolism, right? You force people to do that.
Yo. The Kendrick Lamar halftime show was meant for people who understand how tariffs work.
Yo. Now we end before some goofy motherfucker say, "Why y'all gotta bring politics in it?" Because politics is in everything.
Somebody said Kendrick got lit off dissing Drake. Am I wrong? Somebody quote tweeted him and said Kendrick got lit for being an amazing artist. Good Kid, Mad City got taught in colleges. To Pimp a Butterfly got him meeting in the White House with Obama. He won a Pulitzer for Damn. Had one of the highest selling tours with Mr. Morale, and this was before he called Drake a bum.
Yo, first, listen. I hear a lot of imbeciles try that tack. Right, that whole he got lit off dissing Drake. That's not the flex y'all think it is. 1, it ain't true. 2, it says more about you and your level of education than it does about anything Kendrick did. And 3, you're a moron if you think that at the time, at least, Marvel, one of the biggest film producers of all times, would go get a nobody who didn't do nothing and wouldn't move the chains if he was involved to do their Black Panther soundtrack.
Yeah, he produced the soundtrack.
Yeah. Like
I just don't.
So to show you what the classroom
and has continued to work with Marvel because he did the title song. He did the title song for the Captain America.
Yes, I heard it and it's dope.
Yeah.
Here's the other thing. You know what class that puts him in? That puts him in the same class with Prince,
nigga,
who did the Batman soundtrack. Yo, you telling me that a motherfucker who's in the same class where a movie studio said, yo, we would like you.
This is why on like that, he says Prince outlived Mike Jack. Because Drake kept comparing himself to Michael Jackson.
It's true.
So yeah. Records broken by Kendrick Lamar in the past 12 months. Rap song with the most Grammy wins ever. 5 times, Not Like Us. The most watched Super Bowl halftime show ever. 133.5 million viewers. The record for a rapper with the most all-time Spotify monthly listeners, 88.8 million monthly. The most streamed diss track of all time, Not Like Us, 1.08 billion. First rap song to sell over 20 million units, Humble, and will become the first double diamond rap song once certified. Fastest rap song to reach 500 million streams on Spotify, 70 days. First rap song to ever debut at #1 with a shortened tracking week. Most song streams in a week for any rapper, 81.2 million. First, most single day streams for a rap song ever, 13.1 million.
But the response you will hear is, but Drake.
Yeah, Drake. It was Drake.
They will ignore all those numbers and act like these are incredible feats.
Yeah.
Right? They will ignore all of that shit and talk about the boy.
Yeah.
That's
and the argument, they get quiet when you say, this didn't happen for Pusha T, respectfully.
True.
This didn't happen for Meek Mill. Not as respectfully. I'm just being honest.
It's facts, though.
It's facts. It's facts. It didn't happen for them niggas, so what's the difference?
The difference is he was already a big star.
How big of an artist they were, right?
Yeah. Kendrick was already a big star, man. Y'all can sit here and conventions. Tell that story to your mama.
Yeah.
Maybe she'll buy it.
It's a weird argument.
It's super weird.
That man looked dead at the camera and said your name in front of 155 million people, and you got smoke for Serena.
Yeah. But that's how he do, though.
Yeah,
he's gonna talk about the women.
A picture of him and Serena's ex-manager or some shit like that. It's like, bro, what are you doing?
And then he tried, Joe Budden was spot on. This nigga tried to post some shit about Joe Budden, and Joe dug in his ass. He was like, nigga, I wanted to get in it with you when you was lit. You dead now. You better spin the block and get your lick back. Don't post me now. You're dead. You're a dead man. Don't post me now.
You probably haven't heard this. Drake's album with Party Next Door came out yesterday.
Yeah.
He has a diss for Joe through Melissa Ford.
I heard.
It's like,
I ain't hear the song, but
why are you? What are you talking about?
So again, see, this the shit is crazy. Yo,
what is happening?
Yo, say something to the guy that just said your name on TV in front of the world.
Or even say Joe's name.
Say Joe's name, yo. Don't just go at he always attacked the women, yo.
It's always the women.
Why you going at Mel?
Right.
Why you going at Mel?
I don't understand.
That shit crazy.
Drake is the richest, most popular lame ever. He lives the life that certain men want. He is like Trump to poor white men.
You know the funny thing about that is though, one of the things that has been a common theme since all this shit started, he started showing his ass this way. This motherfucker saying this is proof that money can't unlame you.
Correct.
It can't. You are that you are. And as a matter of fact, money really reveals who you actually fucking are. Yeah. Having that amount of privilege, having that cheat code, because money is a cheat code, having that cheat code in life. Yeah, it once you can do the stuff that's in your head that you hide from everybody else because you want to appear to be a good person, once you can do it without consequence, then we see what kind of person you are.
Yeah.
McKenna says, I hope Drake becomes for the next generation like Ja Rule is for mine, known only really for your failed battles rather than actual music. One can only hope.
Unfortunately, that's not going to happen, but it would be great.
It would be awesome.
Sam Jack says,
the GOAT.
I was honored to be asked by Kendrick and his team to participate. It filled me up when I watched rehearsal and realized I was about to be in yet another historic, game-changing moment. My cup overflows with the opportunities God has presented to me to be up close and personally touch and use my voice and presence as an agent of change. It's an honor and obligation I embrace fully. Nothing is better than repping us as the beacon of truth. By the way, I was never a Black Panther. In the Southern 60s, SNCC and Stokely Carmichael and Rhett Brown were my guiding lights.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks for lifting me up.
Yeah, but those groups he just named there, they was serious.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
they was serious.
It just happened to not be as famous as the Panthers,
right, but they were serious.
Yeah,
they were serious.
Absolutely. If y'all don't stop explaining Black culture to racists, keep them in the dark. It's our way of speaking in code.
So here's the thing about that. Somebody said before, they're not mad at you because they don't know who you are. Mm-hmm. They're mad at you because they do know
exactly who you are.
They know exactly who the fuck you are.
Yeah.
They know that.
That's how that works.
And something Graydon said a while ago about the victors of any conflict or war, they get to call the shots for a lot of years. And we was having this conversation, and I was like, yeah, and a lot of times that makes them delusional. Because when you get to call the shots for so long, it does snatch an element from you of relatability to those who struggle. And because you can't relate to them, that's a blind spot. And you'll never be able to fill that blind spot until you understand them. But because you understanding them and actually seeing what that pain is might change your ideology. Actually understanding. So it's not in your best interest to fill that blind spot. So either way, you're going to get kicked in the nuts because you're not seeing it coming, because you're so caught up in your power dynamic, and you don't want to relate, so you don't want to find out anything about them because you feel like this is what's best for you. You invested in this. You're going to get jammed up either way. You're either going to not want to. That's why you'll find certain people who were super bigoted, horrendously bigoted, out of ignorance, not just out of the whole, I hate them just because I hate them. They were just ignorant. And then they find out more information. All of a sudden, they have these epiphanies. And over the course of a few years, they no longer think that way or talk that way. You see plenty of people like that. It's just not enough. Yeah. It's just not enough. It's not enough.
All right. Couple more speed through, and we can throw a little bit of this week in review in here. Kendrick Lamar update. Kendrick Lamar becomes the first rapper ever to surpass 90 million monthly listeners. Kendrick should have did songs that people know who aren't rap fans. Did Coldplay and Maroon 5 cater to us?
Ooh.
The Kendrick Lamar halftime show was positive because a lot of people, I said this earlier, because a lot of people are now finding out and talking about 40 Acres and a Mule and what that means. Mind you, this is at a time where they're taking Black history out of school.
Facts.
And the last one, white people want us to get over slavery, murder, rape, lynching, brutalization, dehumanization, segregation, experimentation, redlining, mass incarceration, but they're outraged about a halftime show that has zero effect on their lives.
A 13-minute
right.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to week in review. God damn it.
So my week.
Oh, real quick, I forgot because you told me to make sure we did this. I got to make sure we do this. Today is a victory. The frivolous, fictitious, and appalling allegations have been dismissed. This civil suit was without merit and never going anywhere. The fictional tale they created was laughable. If not for the seriousness of the claims, I would not wish this experience on anyone.
Anybody.
The trauma that my wife, children, loved ones, and I have endured can never be dismissed. This 1-800 lawyer gets to file a suit hiding behind Jane Doe, and when they quickly realize that the money grab is going to fail, they get to walk away with no repercussions. The system has failed. The court must protect victims, of course, while with the same ethical responsibility, the courts must protect the innocent from being accused without a shred of evidence. May the truth prevail for all victims and those falsely accused equally. Signed, Sean Carter. So if you don't understand what happened, that case against Jay-Z has been dismissed.
For the record, we want to see real offenders go to jail.
Yes.
We don't want to see motherfuckers who ain't do shit go to jail.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. But yeah, my week was pretty, I want to say eventful, but I think that's too strong of a word. There were things that took
too
place.
Strong, damn.
Yeah, there were things that took place, but it wasn't, so I get a phone call from my sister with some bad news. She says, mom's water heater is messed up.
Yikes.
And leaking. I went, fuck.
Yeah.
Because that's an expense. And it comes at a really bad time for us, right? So we're trying to figure out what's going to happen. Then my cousin Robert goes over there, takes a look, and sees that, in fact, it's not the water heater. It is leaking in from another spot.
Oh.
Yeah. We don't know exactly where, but the house next door is empty. Person who used to live there, I went to school with her daughter. And her older son used to work for me when I was at the Phillips warehouse. He's passed on too. But I don't know if something broke over there. Maybe it was the snow. I don't know, right? But that shit is leaking. But thankfully, it's not going to be some huge expense that would be if we had to replace that water heater. Right. So that's good news. The other thing is, had a meeting with Structure and Gray, and we got another meeting that we're going to do with you guys, SPJ, Christopher, Sci-Fi. We have decided on a book that's going to be Kickstartered. Hopefully in March. So we look for March, right? This will be the first other title other than Extropy and Entropy that we have done. We will announce which one it is. We have reasons why it's this specific one. We'll talk about that as well. And I'm actually looking forward to that because this is one of the times where I got to do some work, right? But I don't have to do as much as I used to do for the shit that I wrote, right? So, yeah, and I believe in the story. I think the shit's dope, right? So, yeah, I can't wait to expose everybody to that because it's been a long time coming with this particular writer, and the shit that he's written is really good. And I think it's very marketable too in other platforms. I think it's very marketable. Then, of course, shipped out more of the tiers for the last Kickstarter we ran. So those of you who got the standard issue, go check your Kickstarter messaging, the codes and all that shit, and go get your stuff, right? The metal books won't be here until the 28th. So sometime after the 28th is when we will be shipping out that tier or whatever. Posters showed up. I just got to set our store up for those posts. That tier with the posters in the book, set that up, and then I'll release those codes and shit to the people that supported for that tier. So all that is moving along swimmingly. Now on to cat news. So I told you guys that the oldest cat in the house has now been relegated to our room/kitchen that's blocked off by a door, right? Because the boy cat has decided he is going to hunt her and be ass, and he has influenced the other ones to do the same. Now, ordinarily, as far as I'm concerned, you let nature take its course, because eventually she either gonna fuck one of them up for that shit, right? Or whatever. Or they'll get tired of it. It's not fun anymore.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I can't do that and allow that to happen because this cat peed on my damn bed because she was so stressed out by the shit they was doing. So, as a result, she mostly stays in there until after a certain period at night where I force them upstairs and she has the run of this whole area. Open the doors, you can go and do what you want to do, get some exercise, whatever. Why am I talking about that now? Because my daughter went to go in that little area to get something because we had also the laundry machines and shit back there. She went back there to get something. As soon as she opened the door, that motherfucking cat ran out.
Oh, of course. Yeah, that's going to happen at times.
But here's the thing. It's never happened before. She ran out regardless. Because she typically wants to come out. She don't want to come out there because they out here. She ran out regardless, knowing that all of them was down here. And they were so shocked that she just came out. And I was like, what the fuck? She comes out, walks all the way to the back door where their water fountain is to drink some water. I'm like, ain't this some shit? So meanwhile, B and Malik and Siobhan are looking. We're trying to see how these other cats are reacting. Well, the cats finally got their wits about them and was like, wait a minute. our prey is unprotected. So the boy walks over there to her, but doesn't get close. He just goes over there, and then he gets down on his little haunches. One of the girls, she walks around trying to flank her. She manages to flank her. All she does is sniff her a little bit, walks back around and goes in another position. The boy stays there and inches closer and closer. She's drinking the water. She realizes he's inching closer and closer. So she looks. He stops. They have that eye shit the cats do with each other. That spaghetti western eye showdown thing going on there. Malik moves closer. The boy gets up off his haunches slowly, arches his back like a Halloween cat, but then goes back down. She's steady looking at him. The boy moves closer. He then gets up, takes his paw, and does this, like he's about to slap the shit out of her. I snatch his punk ass immediately, yoke him up, and force his ass up the steps. She continues to drink her water, stays out a little bit longer, then she walks back towards the door, goes back in. I'm like, what the fuck was this about? Then she does it again. And I realized after she did the second time why she did it. So we have a water fountain for her in that room so she can get water. It wasn't working. Now, I thought it was broken. But no, it was just unplugged. Somehow I managed to get unplugged. But she couldn't get any water, and she was like, oh, fuck these niggas. I don't give a damn what happens. I'm going out here to get a drink. If a motherfucker got something to say, it is what it is.
Thanks. That is amazing.
So after we fixed the whole thing with the water dish, she hasn't been back out while they have been down here since, right? But this forever answers the question of what he was doing. Going by that door all the time and meowing and making noise. See, the charitable interpretation was that he thinks she's trapped in there, so he's trying to say, it's a cat in here, she's trapped, we got to do something. Because that's what cats will do. If another cat is closed up in the door, the other cat will. That's what what they wanted to give him. But I knew from the beginning what was going on here. He was threatening her through that door. He was at that door talking about, Shocker! I'll follow you to the ends of the earth. That's what he was doing. On some bullshit. Hey. I told them that. And every single time they try to give this little nigga some charitable interpretation of what he's doing, he has proven them wrong. Every single time. And when I say that ain't what that little nigga doing, they go, you always because I'm always right about this little nigga. He's ass. And I think they don't think he ass because this is what cats will do. What cats will do, that's why never believe that shit about cats don't really care about. Fuck out of here. We ain't had a single cat in this house that didn't care to be in your fucking business or be where you are. Or you sit in the chair and now they want to be in your lap. Or now they want to be on your shoulder like a fucking baby. All of them care. All of them fucking care. But what you're not going to do is mistake the fact that they being all cutesy with you and being, I'm the baby. It's the baby. With you, with how they relate to each other. That's not how that works. Cats are often assholes to each other. Often.
Yeah. Real shit.
Corny. Like, yo, why are you doing that to her? Y'all know my guy is gone. T'Challa, that was my guy. But even T'Challa, when Zora wasn't looking too good and she was sick and we didn't know why she was sick, looking like that, losing that weight, she couldn't really protect herself like she used to. He used to chase her around outside. It was the only two outside. Well, JB went outside, but he didn't go far. But yeah, he's chasing. I had to stop him once, which I guess amazed everybody. But she ran across the street. He was about to run across to chase her. I said, T'Challa. And he stopped. He turns around, looked at him, and said, leave her alone. He was like, but she's running. Leave her alone. And he turns back, all right. It's like, yeah, damn right. Damn right. That's my guy. He wouldn't be outside if it wasn't for me. He was going to be an indoor cat for real. Like, right. Because niggas be doing shit to Siamese cats. They be stealing them. They be doing, niggas be doing shit to them. Right. But, yeah, cats are assholes to each other. Assuming other. I know it's not always the case. You have cats like JB was, who pretty much take care of younger cats, right? But all them cats ain't like that, man.
Right.
McKenna says our cat Izzy will claim an area, and if a cat or even the 75-pound dog comes near, you better protect yourself. Yeah, they be on that bullshit. Also, I was mad because it snowed.
I mean,
it snowed, and here's the thing, right? Y'all know I don't like that shit.
No,
you probably didn't go to work that day.
I went. That's a part of.
Okay, yeah. All right, man. Say less. But I hate that shit. And it snowed, and I had to shovel the shit. And guess what? I didn't have the proper salt. Guess what salt we did use though? Table salt. And it worked.
Oh yeah, that shit worked too. Yeah, it worked too. It's just that it's not as big, so you got to use more and blah blah.
That's
blah,
it.
Blah, blah. Yeah.
So basically, I gave Mother Nature high blood pressure because I'm out that motherfucker.
Listen, facts. All facts.
Worked just fine.
Ain't no real snow salt been in this house. Every time I've been using table salt.
So yeah, let's hope we don't see any more snow this season. And
it's supposed to snow this week.
See, you didn't have to do all that. See, you ain't had to do all that. You could have let me have that for a little bit.
Okay, you're right. Yeah, no, all the snow's gone. We won't see snow again until 2030.
This is ass.
So
2030. That's too soon.
Oh, nigga. So Chrissy got me my birthday gift. Now, no, y'all might be confused because my birthday's in December. Mind your business. So it was a big boy backyard offset smoker. Now she told me she was going to get me a grill because the one we had already is small. So in the event that we have people over, it takes forever to cook everything for everybody because it's a little small joint. You know, that works when it's just us two, but if we have one or two additional people, it just takes so fucking long for everything to get cooked. So she told me find one I like. So I went in and I did the research and watched video after video, and I picked the one I wanted, but I kept watching videos. I realized there was no reason to compromise because there was no rush to get the grill. It wasn't something that needed to happen right now. So there was no reason for me to compromise. If it costs a little bit more, it costs a little bit more.
That's all.
How that works. I didn't need it yet. So if it took a little while, a little more time for us to get it, that was fine. I asked her how much she was going to spend. She gave me my number. I was like, all right, how about I put a little bit more money to that?
Yes.
Like you stick at that number. I put a little bit more money to that.
Yes.
And we get the top of the
category.
And we get the top of the category. So she was like, yeah, got our taxes back. That's one of the weirdest things about being in this type of relationship that I've never really had to deal with to this extent before is when we owe each other money, because it's like basically picking and choosing who's going to give who what and how they're going to give who what and where that thing is coming from and all this other type stuff. So it's like I was giving her money towards the wedding stuff, but she was getting my birthday gift. So I was about to give her a lump sum of money, and she was like, wait, just deduct the amount that I was going to give you for the grill and give me the rest. That way, I would have given you your money that I said I was going to give you, and you can give me the rest of whatever you had planned to give me in this whole thing. So I'm like, all right, that makes so much sense. Boom, we'll do it that way. So I ordered the grill. Now, I know I said grill and keep saying grill, and I probably will continue to say grill because it's quicker. But earlier, I also said smoker. This offset is actually both. You can use it as a grill or as a smoker. Well, after I had decided and had my heart set on which one that I was getting, I found out that bitch was over 250 pounds. So, yeah. I was talking to Tim after the show, after we got off the show last week, and I had my phone right here. It was on vibrate. It vibrated. I picked my phone up. I looked. It was the Ring camera. Oh, funny enough, it's happening the exact same way right now. It's the Ring camera. And is this a delivery? Yeah, it's taking forever to load. But when the Ring camera popped up, I saw 2 big ass boxes. So I'm like, shit, gotta go. That's why I had to jump off so quickly. I had to get down there before Chrissy tried to bring one of those damn boxes in this house. So I got down there. As I got to like the bottom step, she was like calling for me. So I pretty much timed it. Yep, it's a package. So I got down there basically just as she was calling for me. I went out there. It was 2 boxes. The smaller box was able to pick up, take it to the house, no problem. The bigger of the 2 boxes was a little bit of a challenge. I had to do the whole lift up, flip, lift up, flip. I'm like, babe, just hold the door open for me. Just make sure the door don't close on me so I can get this big bitch in the house. Once I got them in the house and maneuvered them in such a way to have them take up the least amount of space and least be in the way, I immediately texted Fab. Like, yo, I need, and I told Chrissy when this happened, and I talk to y'all all the time about the word friend and how I define the word friend and how way too many people use that word way too loosely. When I text Fab and I say, yo, I'm going to need your help sometime in the near future, his response was, when and where? That's friendship. That is what I mean when I am intentional about using the word friend. His response was when and where. So I basically told him, like, you know, whenever you get a chance. And here, because I just got this big ass grill that needs to be assembled and then placed outside. So he was like, all right, sometime this week I should be home, because with the new baby, he's basically staying with the girlfriend and, you know, raising the baby. So the day that Tim referenced, when it was supposed to snow, this nigga texted me talking about, you want to put the grill together today? And because it can't be James and Jerron without some ridiculous aspect of life involved, I said, well, shit, if you want to come over, we will put it together. He said, okay, I'll be there at 8:30. Mind you, the snow was supposed to start at like 5 or 4. No, the snow was supposed to start at 4. And it was supposed to have been potentially up to like 7 inches of snow. So I'm like, all right. 8:30 comes, no fed. 8:30 comes, no fed. And I'm like, all right, I'm going. Chrissy was like, maybe you should text him and tell him not to come. And I'm like, it's Feb. I'm not gonna tell him not to come.
Right. He'll call.
I'm not gonna bother him. About 9 o'clock, he texts me, I'm on my way. I'm like, nigga. All right. Okay. All right, you on your way.
But I was right though. He called.
Well, he texted.
Sorry.
But yeah. So he came over, talked about some other shit real quick. Got to the grill. Put this bitch together. It was an ordeal. Not because it was difficult to put together.
Mm-hmm.
It was relatively easy to put together. It's just solid. That bitch
it's heavy.
Is solid.
By the way, you know that gift is not just for you.
Nigga, I don't care who the fuck it's for. I spent the least amount of I spent the least amount of money on it. So
everybody about to benefit from that bitch.
Nigga, listen. I ain't
everybody
tripping.
About to eat from that shit.
Hey, listen, I ain't tripping. So we finished. We put it together. It's time to take it outside. We went to take it outside. The wheels are out too far to be able to get it through the door. All right, cool. We gotta take the wheels off. The wheels are solid still. Like they aren't rubber wheels. The wheels are solid still. All right, bet. Take the wheels off.
Yo, I hate solid steel wheels, yo.
Nigga. Went to take the bitch back outside. Shit. The pegs that the wheels go on are attached to the legs. You can't take them off. The pegs were literally this much too wide to fit out of the door. So,
damn it.
God damn it. So we had to take a couple pieces off of the grill so that we can lift it vertically and then put one leg out and then swing that bitch. And nigga, again, this grill is 250 plus pounds.
You got it.
No, nigga. No, nigga.
You Fab definitely got it, right?
Oh no, we were fine. We got it done. That don't mean it's something that niggas wanted to do.
Nigga, I'm 250. Y'all can handle it.
Yeah. See, here's the thing. Chrissy said something similar. She's like, oh, babe, I'm more than 250. You can lift me. It is not the same. Lifting a human and lifting an oddly
it's weight distribution, bro.
Solid steel.
Yeah, it's weight distribution.
It's not the same.
It's weight distribution.
Oh, nigga. Yeah. So again, mind you, all of this was while it was snowing. It was snowing. It was snowing. So we got that bitch out, went out, put the pieces on it that had to be put on it. Right. We didn't put it completely back together. But put all the pieces that had to be on it at that time. Put the cover on that bitch. It was like 12:20 at this point in time. And I was like, well, you know, at least I gotta, I don't gotta go to work the next day.
Except for you went to work next day.
I woke up at 6 o'clock or 6:40, my normal time waking up. I looked at my phone, looking to be happy. Oh, actually, I woke up before my alarm. And I grabbed my phone, just ready for the good news.
You asked.
I see the text message. I'm like, yeah, we will be open 2 hours late. What the fuck, bro?
How you like them apples?
I started to call out. I didn't. I went in. But yeah. Anyway,
did they give you a reason why it was 2 hours? Because it didn't start snowing until like 1, right?
It didn't get that bad here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it really, like when I left the house, it was like once I got out of my development, it was smooth. Like
the streets were up here.
Good.
It's snowing down here.
Yeah, it was a southern storm.
It
was a southern storm, so yeah, y'all got more than we did. But yeah, by the time I got out of my development, that shit was smooth sailing. Like there was really no hazard in driving. So once I got out, I was like, okay, I see why we ain't closed. But last thing, wedding watch. A couple things of import. So y'all know I don't like attention. It's a part of
that's why we try to give it to you. Hashtag make James famous.
It's a part of the dichotomy that is SPJ. I hate it. I also hate people who I don't like being in my business.
You know, you should have stopped that.
You know, yeah.
I hate people I don't like.
I was going to go into complete detail, but I won't for several reasons. So I'll have to talk around it. So I talked to somebody who was close to me about the engagement. And I asked something very specific of them.
What was that?
They did not do what I asked.
Oh.
They almost got themselves and another person cussed the fuck out.
Bummer.
Now, I didn't do that.
Okay.
But there will be a consequence.
Oh, shit.
So what I will say is, if someone who is reserved in any way, shape, or form lets you enter their space, simply respect their wishes. Some might say, oh, I didn't know it was a big deal. That's why you respect the wishes.
Because you don't know.
Especially when you don't understand why they're asking you a thing.
Facts.
So, yeah, there was a consequence for what had been done. And there's another thing that I think that they may do. And if they do, there's going to be further consequences.
Yo. So, this might sound a little weird. But when I hear about people having to deal with consequences, I get excited. Because, no, listen. Because motherfuckers be skating.
Yeah. Oh, facts. Yeah, no, I'm not a proponent of that. I'm not an arbiter of that.
Yeah, I remember. I forget who we was talking about on the show, but the motherfucker did some shit, and it was in Black History Month, and he basically was like, he's not getting away with that shit in Black History Month.
Hey, listen, the idea of grace.
You can't show me grace. You can't show me grace. No grace you can show.
Grace has never been my strong point. It's just not. If you did some shit and you deserve a consequence, far be it from me to stop you from getting that consequence. Mercy, I can show mercy. I've shown mercy.
Yeah.
Grace, I'm not really good at. Grace, I'm not really. Nah.
Listen, you can't show me grace.
So as for something much less annoying, so we paid the baker. We paid the.
How about the candlestick maker? Did you pay him too?
Nah, I don't. I feel like that nigga been acting weird. We paid the baker. We paid the DJ. Close to, if not paid, the deposit for the caterer. I don't remember exactly what Chrissy said about that. I'm broke and now accepting money for virtual hugs. Nah, we have an amazing circle and we've gotten so much help, especially from my parents. But the other thing that's nice, but nobody really thinks about this as an inconvenience, that it is, and how nice the vendors are. It's a super first world problem, absolutely, without a doubt. But between all of the vendors, we've had people volunteer services, both extra services and total services. We've had people massively discount their services. I think the largest discount was like $400. We've had people quote us one price for 80 people, and then sometime after we confirm that it's going to be 90, quote us a lower price. I know you're probably asking, where's the inconvenience? None of that has been an inconvenience. I want to give them their full flowers as a complete sentence without a but first. So fuck with all of that. Yeah. Nah, I don't want to add that. all that shit was amazing. I appreciate every single person that involved for doing those things. Okay. Now to the inconvenience. Quite a few of the vendors are extremely loose with payment schedules. That is not helpful. Again, it's a first world problem, but annoying nonetheless, especially since there are so many of them that are doing it and so much money to go around and so many places, different accounts, tax money, different contributors that the money is coming from.
Right.
It makes it really inconvenient to be able to have everything like understood. It makes it very convenient to have everything understood and lined up and exactly where it's supposed to be and blah blah blah. That part is slightly annoying. Like, oh, okay. I'll give you an example. So my mother paid for the DJ, right? So the DJ, I'm like, yo, what's the quote? So he gives me the quote. I'm like, cool. What is the payment schedule?
Yeah.
Oh, whenever you want to pay me. No, nigga, that's not helpful. Because I have my mother asking me, hey, when do you need this money?
Right. So you make it convenient on your mom.
Well, that's what I ended up doing. He was like, he said whenever I said to her, basically, if you want to do it now, we can do it now.
Right.
And she was like, all right. The problem then became, how am I going to give you this money?
Yeah.
So what ended up happening is she ended up taking cash out, giving me cash, and me depositing it into the bank.
Yeah.
Because if she would have, my PayPal is a business account, so she couldn't PayPal it to me.
Right.
Because I wouldn't have got all the money. With Cash App, I think I probably would have ended up having to pay taxes on it. And Zelle, for some reason, her bank doesn't connect to Zelle. So that was the biggest inconvenience of that situation. Is like, all right, you got to actually physically go to the bank and take money out. And then you have to get it to me somehow. Right. And then I have to physically go to the bank to put the money back in. So, but that's all been taken care of. And I hit him back up like, all right, so how do you want to be paid? And he's like, oh, Cash App, Zelle, whatever. Nigga! Again, I know that you are being helpful. You are, in a way. It's still a bit inconvenient because you're giving. I say this often. Don't give monkeys choices. You're giving me.
Yo, it's funny you
You're
said
giving
that.
Me too many choices.
Funny, I just literally watched a video about marketing, and it was telling you that people tend to suffer from paralysis of analysis if you give them too many choices.
Absolutely.
Right? They don't choose anything. Right? But listen, he tried to show you grace, but as you can see, can't show you grace. There's no to show you.
So, yeah, I don't know. I feel, oh shit, I'm bugging. I just realized I said that backwards. I'm fine with grace. Mercy is my problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm fine with grace. Mercy is my problem. But anyway, so yeah, that was like, that's just a little example of the inconvenience that the help is. Like, had the same issue with the baker, had the same issue with the caterer, had the same issue with the bartender.
Whenever you have a couple of bugs,
right? It was like, bro, what does this mean? Help me!
I'm trying to tell you, please.
I'm trying to get this money while I have it out of my pocket.
See, this is the thing motherfuckers don't get, bro. When you aren't rich,
right,
and you have money to do something that is typically not the amount of money you would spend on anything. If I'm trying to give you this bread, take the bread, because if you play, because shit happens, and then this might have to get you. Like motherfuckers don't be getting that. This shit might get used.
Yeah.
If you take too long, because I got other concerns, and I typically don't have this amount of money on me at any given number of time. Like, because I'm paying bills, I'm doing this, doing that.
Nigga, you want this money or no? Because
to make it real, you can't show me grace. You can't show me grace. There's no grace you can show. Take the money. You can't. Yo, I'm mad at this nigga that he ain't put that on the shirt, yo. I'm mad at this nigga that he ain't put that.
Absolutely livid that he didn't monetize that.
You supposed to monetize that, yo.
But yeah, yo. So Everything's moving along. Oh, now the problem is though.
What's the problem?
These fucking planes, man.
Yo, listen, bro. I just had this conversation with my wife and with my daughter. I said there is a possibility, strong possibility, niggas might come into some money soon.
Mm-hmm.
Not enough, certainly, to change lives, but still, this is it might be a sizable amount or whatever. Panama is an easy trip for us now. It's easy. That shit's not expensive. We know the lay of the land now. Yo, yeah. And I wanted to. I was like, man, I'm trying to get another week out my system down that motherfucker, right? Meet some friends. You know what I'm saying? Like,
absolutely.
But these planes, my guy.
Yeah.
These planes.
Yeah.
I don't feel comfortable.
Posing an issue. And Chrissy already has anxiety. So now it's like.
So do I now, and I hate it.
And I'm like, I get it.
But I hate that I have anxieties now, yo.
And like, I don't have a good argument.
No.
Like in the better timeline, I had a legitimate argument.
Right.
I do not have a legitimate argument now.
Because, yo, when you have 4 of them crash in a month domestically, that shit, we ain't had that. We ain't had that in 16
it wasn't doing
years.
This. Yeah, it wasn't doing this.
Right.
Like, oh, plane crashes happen every day. That's different. That statement, that's not for these times.
No. Number one, that's not for these times. And number one, that's not true domestically.
Right.
Like
exactly.
Flying is the safest mode of travel.
Absolutely.
We have not had a domestic.
And the crazy thing about that, see, that's the thing about this that fucks me up. It probably still is.
Yes. Oh, 100%.
That's the issue that fucks with me with it.
100%.
Like, I understand how other people look at it, but because I know that it's the safest mode of transportation, and then see, it's the cognitive dissonance that fucks with me about this whole thing.
And also, we don't exactly know all the way why this is happening the way this is happening.
And it's niggas still flying. It's not as if the flights have stopped.
Nope.
We're talking about, these are not accurate numbers. Do not quote me on these numbers. We're talking about going from 2% to maybe 5%. Which is insignificant, but it's significant.
Yeah, it's because of how you feel about it. How it makes you feel. Like the one thing about flying is that it does matter the level of confidence you have that you're gonna get up there and then get down without some bullshit.
Right.
It does. Like, especially when you get up there and there's air pockets.
Yeah.
And then the thing shakes. Well, you're like, man, we good, but
right.
your brain is going to do what your brain is going to do in those situations if you already had these recent examples of these motherfuckers crashing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and then when you're not all that confident that the current administration is competent.
Right.
When it seems like with all they want to do is overturn tables and shatter things, and they're using kids to do it, these 20-year-olds to do it.
Right.
Like, are you guys really? I don't believe this. Governance is a thing, bro. It's a thing, and if you already have a very anti-government ideology, it's hard for me to believe that you care that much about proper governance of things, because these things is part of the infrastructure that has to work. Flying is important. This is not just about the fact that I don't feel comfortable going on a vacation. No, bro. Flying is important. There's people use this as transportation to go to different places to do business, to go see family members. If there's a funeral, people use this shit.
And there are different operations that happen. There's different transport that happens.
Yes, bro. Yes. So when you don't feel comfortable, because I don't, and I'm like, yo, because my mindset since last year was we gotta go back. Got to go back. And I'm trying to work out the minutia of what's going to cost, when to do it, because motherfuckers got jobs and they can't just take a week off in the middle of whatever. What is your status? How can you even do it? That sort of shit, right?
Right.
And I'm looking at this shit now going, man, even if I was to come into a shit ton of money today, I would not feel comfortable getting on the plane and going out. And that's a problem.
Yes.
That's a problem.
It's heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Because, nigga, I'm supposed to be getting on 2 planes.
Right. Right.
So
how I'm hoping, this is what I'm hoping for you. I'm hoping that whatever y'all decide to go on y'all honeymoon, a lot of this shit will be sorted by. I'm hoping. I'm hoping, bro. I'm hoping. But
here's the thing. At first I was like when the first one happened, I was like, all right, there's
freak
still
accident.
So many months left.
Yes.
Before the actual trips that have to be taken.
Yes.
We can see if this shit gets sorted out. And if it gets sorted out, then I'll be less worried about the situation. Blah, 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 blah. But at this point, it's damn near March.
And we still don't know.
And we still don't know.
Fuck?
Yeah, that was January. It's damn near March now. So that would leave 6 months until I'm supposed to be on the first flight.
Mm-hmm.
I might be able to wait until like 4 months.
Yeah,
but that's pushing it.
It is.
So that's what I'm going to try to do. I'm gonna try to wait till like May before I actually make a decision about this shit. Cause
yeah.
Nigga.
Just see how shit going, bro. Cause I'm mad, but in the same way, there's a part of me that really would like to do a Christmas trip. So that's further down in the year, and maybe I'll feel more comfortable with it. But don't get me wrong, I'd go tomorrow. But I did want to go down there for their Christmas celebrations and see how that shit go and all of that. But and hopefully by then we won't have another one. People will get back into a routine. But this shit keep happening, bro. Then I start feeling trapped.
Yes.
Then I start feeling trapped.
That part. Very much that part. Damn, man, I hate to end this on a sour note.
No.
Oh.
But if you make
guys.
If it makes you guys feel better. What's up, Jigs?
What up? If
it makes you guys feel better, just know that somewhere at some period of time today, Drake is punching the air right now.
That's facts.
I'm fucking sick of it. I just dropped some music. Y'all still talking about that little short ass niggas? Simbo, he out there trying to get the slaves free, and y'all motherfuckers. Yeah. Don't ever say that shit again, nigga. Don't you ever? On my man Dennis. Don't you ever say no shit like that again.
Word.
We seen your dad. We know your dad. No. Don't you ever say no shit like that again. Rapping like he trying to get the slaves free. Nigga, you Dennis' son. And even though I got some beef with him, I don't think he did. You know what I'm saying? You like this now. Fuck that. On the strength of Dennis, don't you ever say no shit like that again. He's talking like he trying to get the Jews out of Germany.
Like, what is happening?
You wouldn't say no shit like that. He talking like he trying to stop Hitler from killing the. You wouldn't say no shit like that. You ever say no dumbass shit out your mouth like that? Word to Dennis.
Facts.
All right, anyway, we'd like to thank all of you once again for helping us bring you another rousing edition of the Black Culture Geeks podcast. Please remember, there is always music. Always and forever. Always. Past music. Present music. Music still here to come.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Also, just another reminder before we bounce. If you went and got the standard edition, issue 2 from Kickstarter, check your Kickstarter inbox with a message of your codes and go get your shit, man. Go get your shit. Quick shout out to my sister Chrissy, his significant other. Go check out their Heard Through the Grapevine podcast.
Yeah.
Handle that. Also, don't forget my man Super Side Guy and my other dog Hendrix. Betters and Mutants podcast. Check that out as well. Graydon is streaming now. He's got his shit back up. Go check out Graydon stream as well.
Absolutely.
But there's music.
Always.
There's streams. My man Jiggs got music.
Word.
You know what I'm saying? My man GA, who ain't show up today, he got music.
Yeah.
Check that shit the fuck out. Get them streams up. Because that's all we got now. It sucks, but that's all we got. Stream. You know what I'm saying? So, my man SPJ. I am Tombstone the Dead Man. And for the greater multi-world entertainment family, we are out.
Peace.
Word to Dennis.